Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's talk show. Now here's your host, Wilmot Mutty Perkins.
Morning and welcome once again to Perkins Online. Sorry for the late start. We had a little bit of a technical problem. Has it yet been sorted out? Anyway, let's proceed on that basis. Okay, we're hoping to have with us in a moment Mr. Frank Phipps, QC, the lawyer who defended one of those two men who were extradited to the United States on Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, after the Court of Appeal had handed down a judgment on Friday afternoon. And without the lawyers knowing that they were being hustled off in such time, I'm beginning to wonder whether what happened was not that Mr. Bush was of the view that the delay in sending the men up in accordance with the wishes of the government of the United States was not that we had weapons of mass destruction here. Okay, I think we have Mr. Phipps on the line. Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, good morning.
Morning to you, sir. How are you?
I'm so.
What do you think of that, Mr. Phipps, that the United States, that Mr. Bush seemed to be of the view that, our delay in sending the men in accordance with the instructions of the United States stemmed from the fact that we had weapons of mass destruction?
Yes. Mr. Bush seems to know how to win a battle, but he doesn't know how to win a war.
Yes, indeed.
I don't think the people of Jamaica are sufficiently aware of the seriousness of what took place on Sunday morning.
Uh-huh.
The whole question of the Extradition Act should be reviewed, and the manner in which it is applied.
Yes.
I've had phone calls. I think there was a letter in Sunday's paper by a former lecturer at Norman Manley Law School on this subject.
Uh-huh.
And I got a call this morning. I have his permission to mention it, from a lawyer in Mandeville by the name of Owen Crosby. I think you
yes, I know him.
On your program. But my dear Mutty, you see, there is no confidence in our own judicial system.
Uh-huh.
If, as in this case, the allegations against Williams related exclusively to his conduct in Jamaica,
yes,
which they say had a purpose in the United States.
Uh-huh.
Now, why wasn't he prosecuted in Jamaica?
That is the question.
Why is he sent abroad hurriedly in a mad rush? Is there no respect for our own system?
Yes.
I mean, we are pulling away from the Privy Council because we say we can deal with our own business, eh?
Uh-huh.
But then when it comes to our own business in Jamaica,
uh-huh,
we say, no, let's send it abroad, eh?
Yes,
We
indeed.
can't deal with it.
Well, that is when Mr. Bush requires it to be done that way.
It is, you almost said, like, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Who needs enemies?
Look here, sir.
There's even a case in the Privy Council that questions the constitutionality of that Extradition Act,
So I gather.
And while that is there, I mean, why do they allow these cases to go on? Expedite the process up there so that the matter can be brought to a decision. We can have a decision finally.
Yes.
And in this particular case, the minister had up to 2 months in which to send these people away. In the case where they went away Sunday morning.
Yes, this is now having regard to the provisions of Jamaican law.
Once the Court of Appeal dismissed.
Having regard to the provisions of Jamaican law.
Having regard to the provision of our treaty, our act, our Extradition Act.
Yes. But
and
Jamaican
once
law
he
is
has lost all his right of appeal, right? He has a period of 2 months before he can send him away. Any time within the 2 months.
Yes.
So why rush and do it to judgment Friday at midday, and by Sunday 7 o'clock, the men are wished away? You know, what's the hurry? They must have heard a conversation I had with my colleagues because I was out of town, and I told them to write to the minister to ask him to stay his hand until we can consult with the client and consider what further action, if any, is available. There's no appeal against habeas corpus proceedings beyond the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
But then if the man has a constitutional right, for example, one of the witnesses against him, imagine this. One of the witnesses against him is a man whose identity up to now we don't know.
Oh, is that so?
He gives an anonymous witness. His name is not known. His address is not known. So we don't know how to confront this person.
Yes.
Huh? Now,
but
is that depriving the accused of a constitutional right?
Yes.
To know his accuser?
I should have thought so.
Huh?
And
all this has gone through the mills. As they say, I am not questioning the decision, but I am severely criticizing the decision of the Court of Appeal to have allowed that evidence to go forward.
Yes.
You know?
But, Mr. Phipps, one should have thought that if a foreign country is requesting the extradition of a Jamaican citizen, then the Jamaican court should want to satisfy itself that there is a prima facie case against this person.
Oh, yes. And
right?
They say they have so satisfied themselves. They say so.
They say that.
That's the effect of the decisions.
But then, they are satisfied that there's a prima facie case on the basis of testimony from a witness whose identity is
well, not both.
secret.
One of the witnesses.
Well, one of the witnesses. Yes. But how many witnesses were there?
Well, there are really two who spoke as to facts. And
two who spoke as to facts?
One was this anonymous and this other one.
And was the other available for cross-examination?
No. This is another point, you know. These are all evidence given on affidavits.
Yes.
We had argued unsuccessfully in another case, and another colleague argued it unsuccessfully recently, that what we need to have in Jamaica is the testimony that went before the grand jury. Let me go back a bit.
Yes.
They are requested for extradition because a grand jury in the United States handed down an indictment against them.
Yes.
Now, the grand jury must have heard some evidence.
Yes.
Right? But we have never seen that evidence. All the evidence presented is by way of affidavit, and those affidavits came into existence after the grand jury indictment. Which doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Because the law, as we see, speaks of testimony before the grand jury. So an affidavit that is dated after the grand jury could not have been what was before the grand jury.
But I should have
that's
thought...
highly technical stuff, but it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes.
When once you have that type of thing, one anonymous person after the grand jury indictment, anybody can say anything, eh?
Yes.
And one of them won't even give his identity, and we send him up. And as we're repeating what we discussed earlier, why weren't they prosecuted in Jamaica?
Yes.
You know? And let's be perfectly candid. If you are black, you are from Jamaica, and you're going to the United States for trial on a drug-related offense,
and you are pronounced by the head of the by the President of the United States, a drug kingpin.
One of them.
Yes.
But this one is alleged to have been in association with him. I mean, what's the expression? The lifespan of a snowball in hell?
Yes.
You know? No, this is terrible, man.
It is terrible.
I don't know, but then there we are, Mutty, and the people of Jamaica don't seem to realize what is happening to them when the minister gets this man off quickly.
Yes.
You know, before he can speak to his lawyers, and the lawyers say,
hold on to me half a minute, Mr. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Yes. Yeah, Mr. Phipps?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, indeed.
You know, maybe we should, even before we look at the law comprehensively, maybe there should be a clause that says after the legal process is exhausted, he should not be extradited in less than, say, 14 days.
Yes.
Because it is a serious responsibility of the Minister of Justice to, first of all, when he issues the authority for the action to proceed, to satisfy himself that it ought to proceed, and more so when the legal process is exhausted, to satisfy himself and looking on all these papers and all the considerations that I'm going to send the man over. Now, don't tell me that he could have done that after midday the judgment was received.
Yes. Hold on just a moment. Let us get that clear, Mr. Phipps.
Yes.
The Minister of Justice
Yes.
is not obliged to comply with the directions of the court in this matter.
No. The court only looks at to see if the treaty is complied with. No. He still can refuse extradition. He can say, yes, I've reviewed all these papers now, right? And I think the man should go. Or I've reviewed all these papers, and I don't think that if he committed the offense in Jamaica, he should go. I don't think he can get a fair trial. And I don't think that because there's an anonymous witness, I'm not sending my citizen abroad, knowing the conditions over there to be tried. Now, you tell me that this Minister of Justice got the judgment. Our people only got it at 2:30.
Yes.
Got it at 2:30.
On Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon. And he could sign the order. I don't know if he signed it on Saturday. But be that as it may. Friday afternoon to review a judgment that is, 120-odd pages.
Yes.
Right? And review the rest of the case so that they can pick him up Sunday morning. I don't buy that.
No.
I don't buy that.
Doesn't sound like it.
It gives the impression of a rubber stamping process.
Yes.
One doesn't want to use strong terms like abuse of power, but one wonders if it is a proper exercise of power.
Well, it would seem to be a failure to exercise a discretion on behalf of the Jamaican citizen.
I don't like the word discretion in the context, which
right?
means, you know what I mean? A subjective test. No. The discretion is considering all the implications that which I have just mentioned, and say whether it is in the interest of my country, to adopt this course.
Yes. Well,
this
absolutely.
Quick thing there doesn't go down well as far as I'm concerned.
But apparently Jamaica is just we're not an independent country. We're not prepared to stand up and say we are for justice for our citizens. So if the Americans want them, they get them.
When you say Jamaica not an independent country,
yes.
I mean, you mean the government does not act on behalf of people
of the citizen of Jamaica, or of the rights of Jamaicans. Right. I don't think that comes into the picture too much at all.
As he said in one of our releases, it's a very cavalier approach.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In the meanwhile, you're setting up this review system, which is fixing the nuts and bolts of the system. We need more than that.
And you remember a case
of the entire piece of machinery.
You remember a case some years ago, Mr. Phipps, where a man was extradited to the United States on certain grounds in relation to certain matters. When he got to the United States, he wasn't tried on any of those matters, but on something else.
Yes, I remember that very
You remember that case?
Yes. And wasn't there one who was wrongly extradited? I think there was another one who was wrongly extradited. I don't remember the details of
Yes.
that. But the whole thing needs to be looked into, and it is very important that the minister who is supposed to be protecting the interests of the Jamaican people as a minister of justice should operate with the feeling, first of all, I'm not sending out a citizen. Give me compelling reasons why I should send him out.
Yes.
You follow me? That's where he must start. I'm there to protect my citizens.
The minister doesn't dare.
I'm here to protect my citizens.
The minister doesn't dare.
I think there's authority for that proposition that I advanced. There's authority for that. I'm here to protect my citizens. Give me compelling reasons why I should send them.
I think the minister must have seen what happened to Saddam.
No, but you mean when you keep this type of weapon of mass destruction when you keep this type of weapon of mass destruction,
Yes.
which is the independence of the people of Jamaica and their rights.
Uh-huh.
That's a weapon of mass destruction insofar as the U.S. is concerned.
Yes.
You know, I don't know, but I hope that the Jamaican people come alive to the fact that their rights need to be safeguarded.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Thank you,
God
Mr.
bless
Phipps.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go on. Hello? Well, yes, the newspapers. World Cup cricket. We have been hearing the justification for spending $9 billion. It must have overrun that by now. $9 billion on World Cup cricket. We were going to get all these people coming here from all these countries to watch cricket, and they were going to see this lovely country and all the wonderful things going on here, and it would have been an advertising for the tourism industry, and over the years we would sort of reap huge benefits from this exercise. As it turns out, there is some doubt as to the number of visitors that have come here, and how beneficial this has been to the tourism industry. And we read on this program yesterday, I think, an email from somebody in the United States who was telling us about some program that was on Irish television, radio or television, some broadcast about the conditions in Jamaica, how he had to drive, what was it? something like 4 hours. 4 hours, no? To see the match from where he was staying, presumably in Montego Bay, and another 4 hours to go back, and all the potholes in the roads and all this kind of thing. And as if that weren't bad enough, what our visitors are being exposed to is some horrible news about atrocities being committed against children in this country. 2 children were murdered last week. A 15-year-old girl, 6-year-old boy shot dead in their house. And as if that weren't bad enough, yesterday we had I don't know whether to call it a worst case, right? But a little 2-year-old child, 2 years old, murdered by gunmen in the home. Boy, I don't know what impression all these visitors who have come here, or those who have come, because I don't think that too many have come. I don't know what impression these people are taking away about Jamaica. I think that they must find it quite shocking. And, you know, it's all over the newspapers, all over the radio, the television. I suspect that large numbers of them are aware of what is going on in Jamaica. It really is an exceedingly ugly situation. And our Minister of National Security, Dr. Peter Phillips, was talking at the Norman Manley Law School about all of these things. Well, not specifically these incidents, but the widespread criminality that has taken over this country, and blaming it, ultimately it seems, on the failure of government. Because what he's saying is that the budgetary allocation to the Ministry of National Security is far from adequate and has been falling over the last 30 years. We have to take a break. We come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Look here. There is a paragraph in the Gleaner. I'm going to read it for you. I'm not going to tell you where in the Gleaner it is. Right? And I would like, I don't know how we're going to manage this, but it would be very interesting to know how quickly, when I tell you about it, how long it will take you to find it. It is supposed to be an apology to Mr. Darrell Vaz for an article that was far easier to find, and it had a headline, what page was it on? I can't remember. But once you got onto that page, you couldn't miss it. It was right at the top of the page. This says, in an article published in yesterday's Gleaner, it was suggested that Darrell Vaz, Jamaica Labour Party candidate for West Portland, had labelled the constituency a garrison while speaking at a divisional conference on the weekend. After further checks, however, the Gleaner is now confident, I beg your pardon. The Gleaner is now confident that Mr. Vaz made no such statement on the political platform. We regret the misunderstanding. We regret the misunderstanding and any inconvenience caused. See related article on the letters page on A7. Now, the story yesterday was carried on page 810, and the headline was at the top of the page, 2 lines at the top of the page: West Portland now a JLP garrison. Vaz. And it covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns of the Gleaner. The page, there are 6 columns on the page, and it spread across 5 columns. right? The apology. See whether you can find it. Okay, let's go to our telephones. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning. I was listening to you and Mr. Phipps. And I'm just wondering, it seems as if that despite the problems that the government may be having, that they seem more efficient at handling their extradition cases than Mr. Phipps.
I beg your pardon, I missed that.
I said, despite all the problems that the government may be having, it seems as if they were more efficient in dealing with their extradition case.
With their?
Extradition case.
Oh.
Than Mr. Phipps was.
Why?
Because they were able to run the law as they saw it, while Mr. Phipps couldn't lodge the appeal in time.
Well, I don't know that there was any question of an appeal to be lodged.
So Mr. Phipps come asking that the minister exercise. I mean, it went to court. The court said yes, it's okay, and then he's quarreling now that the minister didn't overrule the court.
No, he's saying that the minister hurried.
Yes, hurried it before he could
hurried the extradition.
Before he could get his act together.
B. Mr. Phipps is saying that there is a case now before the Privy Council which has a bearing upon this case, right?
And?
Well, there's an appeal before the Privy Council.
So Mr. Phipps should have known his appeal on that basis then?
No. That case has not yet been decided.
Not yet decided, all right.
Yes. The Privy Council is hearing a case, right, in which it is being suggested that the Extradition Act, as it exists in Jamaica, is unconstitutional.
Yes.
Now, wouldn't you say that it would have been appropriate for the government to wait on the outcome of that case before deciding to send these men abroad?
No, what I would say is that Mr. Phipps should have lodged his appeal before the 2 days.
There was no question of Mr. Phipps lodging an appeal.
Yes.
And in any event, sir.
That's the reason.
Hold on just a moment. In any event, Mr. Phipps could not have lodged an appeal.
What am I arguing over then?
Hold on. There is no question of an appeal being lodged. If a decision comes down on at 2:00, 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday, and the men are sent out of here by Sunday morning.
You said there couldn't have been. What you are telling me that Mr. Phipps couldn't have lodged an appeal? That's what you're telling me?
No, I'm not telling you any such thing.
Okay.
Right? But you are saying that Mr. Phipps should have lodged an appeal. I'm pointing out to you, sir. Hold on a little bit. I'm pointing out to you that. Hold on a little bit. I am pointing out to you that is a half-witted statement.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Yes. There is no possibility of an appeal being lodged.
No possibility.
Between 2:30.
You are sure of this?
Between 2:30 Friday afternoon.
You are sure of this?
And 7:00 on Sunday morning.
You are sure?
Yes.
I'm half-witted, and you are sure?
Yes, there's no possibility.
That I'm half-witted, and you are sure? You are sure that there could have been an appeal?
No, I never said that.
What are you saying then?
Again, you are not understanding the English language.
No, I'm not.
Clearly, you have a difficulty with it.
Exactly. But don't mind.
Right?
Stick to the point.
Either that, or you are so intent upon spinning.
Upon what?
Upon spinning.
Spinning?
Right?
Yes.
That you're not really listening. And
exactly.
You're not really concerned about the facts.
But I'm giving you the opportunity, Mr. Perkins, to enlighten the country.
Mm-hmm.
That
you're not doing any such thing, sir.
No, man, I'm giving you.
That is not your intention.
No, but I'm so dumb.
But let me ask you something.
Yes.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think it is disgraceful?
What?
That the Americans
mm-hmm.
are asking for Jamaicans to be extradited to that country for trial. Not on the basis of any action that they took within the United States, but on the basis of action that they took here in Jamaica. In other words, the crimes that are being alleged... Hold on just a minute, sir. The crimes that are being alleged by the American authorities are crimes committed in Jamaica.
But Mr. Perkins...
Right? Don't you think that the Jamaican courts might have said to the Americans, if you have evidence of this, present it to the Director of Public Prosecution?
But Mr. Perkins, you're the one who every day says, boy, our court is in shambles. So if we get some, you're the one who says every day that our courts are in shambles.
I say that every day.
Not every day, every other day. So therefore, if we find a court who is willing to take up our cases.
No.
And you're the one who Lord don't praise.
No. Don't be absurd, sir. Don't be absurd.
Mr. Perkins.
But I also say, sir, hold on just a moment. Hold on. I will admit to saying every day that the government of this country is in shambles. I'm saying, sir, that I am prepared to admit to saying every day that the government of this country is in shambles.
Yes.
Would you then suggest that if we can get a government...
we must get foreign police, we must get privy council.
There you are.
Yes, so therefore...
There you are.
We're getting something better than the privy council. We're getting American justice for our Jamaicans. What is better than American justice?
I suggest that we have...
Would you rather American justice or Jamaican justice for yourself?
No, sir. I would rather...
you want privy council justice?
I would rather deal with it privy here council? In Jamaica.
Would you rather Jamaican justice?
Certainly. If the president... Hold on just a moment, sir. If the president of the United States is going to label some person...
Kingpin.
A drug kingpin, right? It would seem to me that is... And as it seemed to Mr. Justice Small in the Bahamas, that is a prejudicial statement and is likely to result in the denial of a fair trial to the person involved.
All right. But so you believe Jamaican justice is better than American justice?
Hold on just a moment for me, please, sir. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here.
Yes.
You were saying?
No, I think you were telling me about the Americans, that you believe that the Jamaican justice system is better than the American.
I never said any such thing, sir.
All right, what were you saying then?
Would you like to help me on that, though? Do you think that the American
No. I asked you the question.
I'm asking you, sir. Yes, I'm asking.
No, I don't believe so.
I'm asking you for your help.
I believe that the American justice system is better than the Jamaican justice system.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, I think that all our politicians spend time calling through and pens all sort of foolishness when they should be looking at the law and streamlining the law. No, that's not that they spend the time on.
Oh, is that so?
The place full of liars, but...
And what are you telling me, that after 18 years in office...
Which 18 years? Look from when you get independent.
No, hold on. No, I'm asking you that your party has been in office for 18 years.
After 18 years,
right?
My party is in power and they haven't done a good job. So can we get over that politics part?
They haven't done a good job.
No, hey, all right. So let's get back to the matter now.
Oh my God!
After what you're saying now is that you believe that.
So let me ask you something. Why? What about there's an election coming up shortly?
Mr. Perkins.
What are you expecting people to do?
If you want me to say that I'm whichever party you want me to say, but let us get back to the meat of the matter.
What is the meat of the matter?
Is that how can a lawyer be on the air complaining that he never gets enough time to put in his appeal, and a complaint that is the minister of justice?
No, Mr. Phipps never said any such thing. And if you want to be critical, hold on, sir. If you want to be critical of Mr. Phipps, you must first of all find out what he did say. Right?
What did he say?
You cannot go criticizing him on the basis of your fantasies. Okay? Thank you very much. Goodbye. Okay, hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Perkins. First time caller to your program.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
I'm going to bring up a topic that it's not the first time brought up on your program, but the opportunity for young people to get a job. Yesterday, a friend of mine, there's an e-service place over here in Portmore. Now go ahead. Yesterday, a friend of mine went out there. And what they said to him, after they called him for the interview, and the reason why he cannot proceed with the interview to get the job, to me, it was very, I would say, inhumane. This person I'm talking about...
Inhumane?
Yeah, inhumane, sorry. This person I'm talking about, he's visually impaired, you know.
Yes.
5 years of his life, he struggled through Kingston College, managed to leave with 5 CXC subjects. And now start an associate degree. Never have the financial support to finish it, so him stop and try look a job. Yesterday, them call him for the interview and him go out there. The HR look for him and said them can't hire him because he's visually impaired.
Because what?
Them can't hire him because he's visually impaired. Now tell me, Mr. Perkins, can you just tell somebody that straight up like that?
Can you just tell somebody what?
Just tell somebody that they can't get a job because they're visually impaired without even talking to anyone or letting them down even lightly. Just say to them to their face just like that.
No, but the fact of the matter is, what do you think, that they could have had him for that job?
I think so, because in the summer, the summer that went by, he worked at Verizon Teleservices in New Kingston. He worked there, and basically checking their website, and the service that they offer is similar.
What is the nature of the service that he would have had to perform?
E-services. Basically what they do is telemarketing. And what telemarketing, from my knowledge knowing entail, is basically calling and finding out or helping other people with their jobs. And he's done a great job at Verizon from what I've heard. And he went out.
So why did he leave there?
Oh no, the company contract for Jamaica was up, so there was a closure.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's why he left.
Yes, but look here, son. If I'm looking for somebody to do some work for me, right? Then I must know what it is that I need to have done, and the particular skills that I would expect the person who's going to be doing that job for me to have. You must make a difference. You must understand that there is a difference between employment and charity. Right? Employment is not charity. Right? And when a company wants somebody to do a job, they're not doing an act of charity in taking on that person then. Right? So if they think that his impaired vision would not make it possible for him to do what they would be expecting him to do, then, they have no choice, it seems to me, but to tell him that and wish him well.
Well, Mr. Perkins, not even a try?
A try? They don't think that he can do what they have to be done. Right? I don't think you can blame them for that.
But after fitting the qualification criteria, well, like he said, he said to me that it's their company and they should decide who they want to hire for them. It's their company.
Yes.
But I'm looking at it and I was like, on his resume, it stated that he worked in a similar environment in the summer. And he was good at the job.
Yes.
And not even a chance for him to prove himself say, okay, he can manage the work despite. Because if it's computer-based, and as a lot of computer techs nowadays know that a visually impaired person can manage themselves around the computer thanks to the aid of a magnifier.
I beg your pardon?
Thanks to the aid of a magnifier program on the computer, every if not all computer techies know that a visually impaired person can manage themselves around the computer.
Well, I don't know. Maybe had you been in the position of the manager of that company, you would have made a different decision, right?
Well, as a man, well, that's the thing is...
And let's hope that he will find some company prepared to take him on, even for trial, you know, and that he'll be able to perform and to hold the job. But I don't think that you can blame a company too much.
No, I'm not blaming the company
no,
for...
they know what they want, and that is what they are prepared to buy. Right?
True. But I'm not really blaming the company for not hiring him. You know?
Yes.
The way that they just said it to him, because honestly, it kind of brings down a person knowing that them try...
Well, I don't know, sir. If you're visually impaired, that is a fact that you have to face. He knows that he's visually impaired. I don't think that there's anything particularly brutal in saying that, you know, you have a problem, and that problem does, you know, we don't think that you will be able to do what we want done, in view of the problem that you have. They're not necessarily, that's not necessarily being unkind.
If they said it like that,
I beg your pardon?
You see, if they said it in the way you said it a while ago, it wouldn't be so bad.
Well,
the human resource officer just turned, looked at him, and said, I'm sorry, we can't hire you, but we will keep your resume.
But we will?
But we will keep your resume on record.
We will keep your resume?
On record.
On record?
Yes, that's what they said to him. I'm sorry, we can't hire you because they're impaired, but we will keep your resume on record.
Now, what would be the purpose of keeping his resume on record?
No, I don't know that. Why tell somebody?
Well, maybe what they're suggesting to him is that there might be some future opportunity. Right? Which, for which they would be prepared to hire him. I don't know.
Because I was saying, I said to him, didn't he talk to somebody or anything? I asked him if she talked to anybody, if the HR went to talk to anybody. He said no.
Yes.
She just called him out the room and went to her office. And right as he turned in the office, she said it to him. And he just walked out feeling down, because even yesterday when I went to look for him yesterday and asked him how the interview went, and he didn't even want to speak about it. I must say, imagine him try all his life just to make it as a normal, not really normal, but try to make it in life. Him go through high school, come out with him subjects, and the way in which he was addressed yesterday, he said not the matter of fact that they turned him down because of his impairedness. That's not the problem, but the way in which they addressed him, like...
Well, I don't know, sir. I don't know how they addressed him. If she just told them the facts, you know, we can't hire you because you're visually impaired, right? I wouldn't consider that, necessarily brutal.
Okay.
Anyway, let's hope he does get something, eh?
Okay.
All right. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to take a break. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello? 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 Hello?
Morning, Mr. Perkins.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I was the person who called you on Friday about the RGB.
Yes.
Friday afternoon.
One of the persons who called.
Yeah, one of the persons. Yeah, as I was saying that I to get my birth certificate and they took the whole one and said it's not good. So, and I have a problem in getting back the whole piece from them.
Yes.
without a new one.
Yes.
So I don't know how you could help me there, sir.
If what?
I don't know how you could help me there.
Well, I don't know that I can do anything about it, but why don't you? They took it from you at the
one of the supervisors.
One of the supervisors.
Yeah, took it and said it's fraudulent.
It's fraudulent.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go to the RGD, right? Or get in touch with the director, and tell her about this and ask that the document be returned to you.
I try all of that, Mr. Perkins, and I just can't get nowhere with it.
Yes, well, and what are they saying, that they never took it from you?
No, she admits that she take it, but they refuse and give it back to me.
She admits that she took it.
Yeah, but they refuse it and give it back to me.
Oh.
That it's fraudulent. But I was registered in 1964, so I don't see how it could fraudulent at this point in time.
Okay, did you have a passport or any such thing?
No, sir.
You never used that document?
No, I traveled on the farmer program, but I didn't use passport.
What do you use?
I use an ID card.
An ID card?
Yeah, but since 2004, they said they were going to change it out to passport. And then I applied for a birth certificate and I couldn't get it. And I keep going back and forth, and still can't receive it.
Well, part of the problem, if they admitted that to you.
Yeah.
But they haven't given you any document to supporting your claim that they took the birth certificate from you.
No, sir.
But you see, I don't understand. I don't understand, first of all, why you should have submitted to this, right? Secondly, why you should have given her your birth certificate at all?
No, what had happened is that me apply and I couldn't get you.
Yeah.
And I do numerous searches without successful. So I went there and asked him to let me speak to a supervisor. I go and I explain my situation to her, and she said to me, let me see a document. So I gave her my document, the birth certificate, 2 pieces of receipt, and also a yellow slip that they give to my brother that applied for it for the first time. Then she took the pink piece and one of the receipt. The last receipt that me paid $2,250 to get it on next day's service. Then by then, they'd have to rush off to the hospital because my daughter met in an accident and I have to rush.
Hold on a little bit. I wonder whether we can get hold of the Registrar General. Let us see. Hold on a bit, you see?
Okay.
We'll see whether we can get her. And we'll try to have, yes. Okay. You just hold on, you see?
Okay.
We'll go to somebody else in the meantime.
Yeah.
Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Hi, how you doing?
Not bad.
Long time I haven't heard from you.
Mr. Perkins, better than that, we have 2 issues with you.
Yes, what's
that? The first one is the Minister of Justice.
Minister of Justice.
Now, I hear a caller with you was disputing Mr. Flip. So, Mr. Perkins, you see, when some people blind which don't have any hope to see again, let me tell you something. I hear plenty caller call to you and tell you what happened to them, and when them hear people used to talk, them say a lie. Until the shoe starts screaming.
Until it's up to them.
You understand?
Yes.
Why we so stupid? No. You believe that the Minister of Justice did have any human within his country? You know, take them people and fling them away.
Well, you know, sir, I suspect that he came under pressure from the American authorities. Right?
But Mr. Perkins, if you is the one who responds for your country, you think America can put you under any pressure that you are going to deny your country right to free America to you are going to go beg?
Well, President Bush might say that from the fact that you are defying him, it means that you have weapons of mass destruction.
Well,
did you see what happened to Saddam Hussein?
Yeah, and up to this morning, Vice President go down. They hang him this morning.
Yes, well.
So, you see, let me tell you something, Mr. Perkins. When people blind, they will continue to blind. Don't worry, carry them got you, but go look no sight. For a few days, he might go down. You understand? Me can't understand. No, why the people them? You want to tell me say party make them blind and then can't say the attorney, the Minister of Justice wrong? No.
It seems to me, sir. It seems to me.
You examine that too overnight.
It seems to me that the whole approach to the business of extradition to the United States is defective. The idea that the Americans could demand the extradition of a person to the United States and refuse, don't even make out a prima facie case against the person, right? You don't satisfy the courts here in Jamaica that yes, there is a case against these people, right? All the evidence you present is affidavit evidence, not the evidence that was presented to the grand jury in the United States on the basis of which the grand jury made its decision. That is not presented.
What
right?
these people doing?
In another case, an American diplomat here in Jamaica gives an affidavit in relation to another demand for extradition, right? And refuses to go to court to be cross-examined on the basis on this affidavit that you gave, right?
But Mr. Perkins,
the court must just accept her word, and that is the end of that. What is the court going to do?
Look on those people that they send with same way. And when them go there, then don't try them on the case where them want them for.
Yes.
Then try them on another case.
Yes.
Then, and you want to tell me, say, the Minister and Judge blind? Are in depth? Which one of them?
And not only that, you know, sir. In these particular cases, the crimes that these persons are alleged to have committed were committed right here in Jamaica.
Exactly.
In violation of Jamaican law, according to the allegation, right? Therefore, the United States authorities could have presented that evidence to the authorities here in Jamaica, right? And allow the persons to be prosecuted here in Jamaica. No, they want them to be brought there to the United States. And the president says that they're drug kingpins, right? And what do you think is going to happen when they go to the United States?
Then go and find them guilty for anything them charge them for.
All right. Well.
Now, you see, what eventually happens, if you make mistake one time, and you go back, you make the same mistake the second time, and then you go back the third time, that means it's not law them a hack of power.
Yes.
You understand? You see when power gone, the whole country in a darkness. So I suppose when for them power go,
We need institutions here, sir, that are more protective of the rights of Jamaicans. You know?
There's one thing where me could have give to him this morning, you know, but you can't get it on the radio, so me hold that.
All right.
And Mr. Perkins, you know what eventually happened a few weeks back?
What?
I took sick. I went off to university.
I beg your pardon?
Took sick.
Yes.
I went off to UWI.
Yes.
And there was no bed.
Oh?
The following day, them decided to send me a KPH.
Yes.
I'm telling me not going.
Uh-huh.
Me prefer come home. And they said them explained to me, them said they can't allow me to come home for anything happen, they will be responsible.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, them counsel me and talk to me, and me did go down there. Mr. Perkins, I got to in 2 years. Well, that is upstairs. You look right down in a matches lane.
In a what?
In a matches lane.
Yes.
And Mr. Perkins, the treatment was good, you know. And I tell you something.
Hold on 1 minute. Thank you very much. We're back with you, sir.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
You're telling us about your experience at KPH.
Yes, sir. The only thing, though, you see the word, Mr. Perkins?
Uh-huh.
The word shine and speak. But we sort of, we think that I see the rest, it's sort of bed, linen, and you see the cupboard that you're supposed to put your clothes in.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Perkins, you know, I know. But let me tell you.
You don't have no cupboard to put your clothes in?
No, Tom.
The way you put your clothes?
You see, me have some container where my clothes put in.
Uh-huh.
And let me tell you this, sir. I view and I see only one little teenager when I start put on wing.
Uh-huh.
And I kill him, I didn't let him.
Uh-huh.
I kill him.
Uh-huh.
But down there, the one them look good and only it one bed, it one linen, and it also want to cover them.
Uh-huh.
But the doctor and the nurse them, well, they had ready, did tell me, you will say the nurse and the doctor, them we are going to look after me. Me won't miss them. So, it's really true, they look after me good.
Uh-huh.
But, me say, the ward want bed, sir. It want linen, and it want covered.
Uh-huh.
And even the porter, them and the housewife, we and them get on good.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they angle other people, but then didn't angle me now. We
Uh-huh.
disrespectful.
Yes.
And
well, that's good.
yes, for me, I tell you, I was afraid to me.
I haven't heard a really congratulatory report of this kind on Kingston Public Hospital for some time, as far as I know.
Yes.
That's
you see,
good.
the thing that I bet over, the money that spent at Trelawney could have buy bed linen and covered.
That is quite true.
You understand?
Quite true.
So, and for instance, down at Woolford Park where you have to get past cigar your yard.
Uh-huh.
They could easily well buy out the whole place and find place, put the people them and just open cover in a park. and it wouldn't cost half a one.
Well, let me ask you something. What are your views on this World Cup?
You welcome?
Uh-huh.
Well, me book my team to win. Me no matter who want be champion, who no want champion, they have to beat me first.
Oh, yes?
Yes, when West Indies lose, we can't say me get beaten.
That is West Indies cricket team you're backing?
Yes, Mr. Perkins, me couldn't really let them out.
You expect them to win?
You know, you see West Indies team,
Uh-huh.
it come in like the dieted labor writer, the dieted PMP. Where through the PMP are done and mash down the country, then still hold them up. And if the GLP are mash down the country, the GLP still are hold him up. Well, me not hold them up, but me hold up West Indies cricket team.
I see.
Me back them.
Well, look here. What about the benefits that are supposed to flow into Jamaica?
The benefit?
From
you
this
mean
World Cup investment.
You must say the benefit what to leave Jamaica.
They had what they call it, in New Kingston. A market in there that was set up for these,
Yes, when you want, arrange things another.
I can't remember what they call it.
Arrange money.
But I gather that the people are having paid, what, $11,000 or something like that?
And they
for a stall?
remove them, so them a fight now to get back their money. I understand that the money promised to give back.
Oh, they promised to give back the money?
So I hear, but you know, a promise from them people here. It is like when you promise a dog, say you are going to put pocket in a suit. You understand? So a dog have one suit.
Yes.
You don't know you're not going to take you off and put it in pocket. So they promise from them people here. Look down at St. Anne's. Road a drop. And the people them decide now say them a go demand, them a go block road. Look the road cut
One Love Village.
Yeah?
One Love Village.
Me tell you something, sir. The promise that these people have to give is like when they cut road in a night down a St. Anne's.
Yes.
With flashlight and bucket to it. And when they lose the election, the road finish same place. And the pipeline take up at Canto, Maxine Henry Wilson.
Yes.
She said that's why it never died. And those pipeline was wrong. So they have to remove them to carry back good one. And I know the good one can come.
Oh.
Finally, Mr. Perkins. Yes, you were saying?
No, I'm listening to you.
Yes, sir. Finally.
Yes.
Yesterday morning, me hear Mr. Peters, and when he woke up, and he was reading from some paper, talking about the bus that run to Spanish Town, to Halfway Tree. There is a seat,
What's the name of the place?
That is only the ladies, the schoolers, them can't. That is only the ladies, the schoolers, them can't sit down on that seat.
Oh.
That is between the driver and the other seat. Yes, sir. Mr. I laugh till I cry, Mr. Perkins.
Boy.
We don't know the person who put that in a paper, boy, I'm brave. At least not nice now if you put in it, you have to put them things that you cut down traffic and money.
I see.
And when you read them things that you will laugh and forget about the traffic money.
Yes.
Then, you know what me hear on a radio station yesterday? Somebody was telling the lady that the Mr. Golding should drop the charges, put away them charges them on blah 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 blah, but all the way is the
what charges are these?
But with the traffic going.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. You mean that they should forget about traffic?
Yes. No. You see, everywhere you turn, you see the people them both deaf and blind. My God. Who have a benefit? You know something? Them having the money now to buy white rum. Curry goat. Wanga got me a man drinker.
$40 million can buy a fair amount of curry goat and white rum.
Yeah. But who ever pay it back?
But I'm told that they spent the money already in the party on the party conference.
The amount of different way where they said and send the money. Me hear it.
Yes, I don't know. I mean, I gather that checks were drawn to two accounts, SW, whatever, down in Sister P's constituency, and another one was drawn for $400,000 for somebody's private account.
Yes, sir.
But you know, it is all fascinating. It seems to me that one of the interesting questions is, where did that money come from? Was it out of Trafigura's pocket, or did it have anything to do with the Nigerian oil deal?
Then,
right?
Then, Mr. Percy,
because the Nigerians gave us, allowed us to purchase the oil at concessionary rates, and if I'm not mistaken, the rate that I saw was somewhere in the region of $5 per barrel of oil.
Yes.
And yet Jamaica was getting 12 cents per barrel from when Trafigura sold the oil. Right? Now I find it, I don't know, I mean, is it possible that, you know, the profits from the oil deal were not being shared between Jamaica and Trafigura,
you see,
as one might have expected?
You see, Mr. Perkins,
but that money was going elsewhere?
What I done out to hear, and I don't hear nobody, not even you, me here a deal with that. Oh, these people could have left where them come from, Lana Montego Bay, where the taxi or whatever them use, to go knock up the Prime Minister and go and have talk with the Prime Minister privately.
All that.
And we don't hear nobody beat from that.
Oh man, that thing has been talked about a fair amount.
But if we did it no flip and turn, for what part of the world that ever?
I don't know. It seems to me to require explanation. What were they talking about?
Then shortly after him visit Prime Minister, then you hear about this money business. Then what kind of business that?
I don't know.
And fraud squad no calling all them. Listen man, make me tell you something. Them people will sit down and cover up them conscience. Them a go get up one time and can't find the conscience. Fight a go disappear.
Yes, well, I don't know that there's any fraud involved, but you know. Anyway, sir, thank you very much.
You take care, Mr. Perkins.
All right. We take a break. We come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Now, it is obvious that that the World Cup is, the expectations were rather optimistic, and they're not working out quite as had been hoped. This One Love Village in New Kingston has had to be closed because the people paid their money, between $1,000 and $2,000 each. Beg your pardon, between $10,000 and $20,000 each for a half stall or a full one. And is it a stall or whatever? And it's not working because the expectation that there were going to be so many World Cup visitors who would be sort of walking all over looking for things to buy and wanting to listen to music and all this kind of thing. Not turning out that way at all. Apparently the spinners spun too much. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, good afternoon. Good morning, sir. Morning to you.
Morning, how are you?
Not too bad.
Long time I hear from you, man.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yeah. I bring my friend to St. Andrew.
Eh? You're breaking up.
Huh?
Your voice is breaking up.
Yeah, man, me, man, green man.
Uh-huh.
Alright. You see, I started for the local people and the family them down at Augustone.
Don't know where?
Augustone, down at Wundum.
Oh, isn't it awful?
Yeah, it's man, God, don't tell them man in the heart. Mark me, I can't them have mother or father.
Uh-huh.
In the heart, man, God, you know. Well, the MP coming in Saturday night, Friday to Saturday, so I'm going to walk go down there, you know.
Who?
Dr. Bartlett.
Yes.
I'm going to walk go down there.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Uh-huh.
Well, he might some business and I come with him and take care of, but I think in the country now. So, when he come back between Saturday, he may go down and find out what happened. You understand?
Uh-huh.
Why, it grieve me, man. Now, last time I have to cry, you know, man. You got to say, you know. Look at people.
Isn't it terrible?
2-year-old people can't do. Yeah?
I don't know.
We're 2-year people can't do, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Okay, I don't know whether they deliberately shot that child or whether they just went into the house and sprayed bullets and one of them hit her, you know, or hit the child.
The police, them, you know.
Uh-huh.
The police, them, said the man shouldn't take it in their hand, but, yeah, the police said the man shouldn't take it in their hand, don't make the law take a court, but why, to me, if they catch you, that woman, them, that kill them serious.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
And you know what is awful too? The fact that these two men suspected of having been involved in this affair, they were murdered.
Yeah.
Right? And what do you think is going to be the impression on foreign visitors when they see this kind of thing happening in Jamaica?
They don't want to come back to Jamaica.
Oh, well.
They don't want to come back here, you know, because they come to enjoy the match and they can enjoy the match in a piece of your gunshot.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Well, I don't know if they're directly hearing the gunshots, but, you know.
No, but they want TV.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they read paper, don't it?
Yes, I should think so.
So, where this car son now? Where this car really cost, son?
Why, I don't know, my son.
Well, Mr. Perkins, a long time I try to get you over 3 months now. Every time I call you, they're on the line.
Yes.
But Mr. Bartlett, I'll do some work in the community. I set up one place they call Falling, and
I wonder if anybody is thinking about a state of emergency.
No, we don't want that in Jamaica.
In preparation for the election.
No, we don't want that in Jamaica. I tell you, live in God's truth.
Uh-huh.
I want that in Jamaica, because I first year, I only have to go to work.
You think that, people did want a state of emergency in 1996?
They didn't want it, but then it couldn't happen.
Uh-huh.
What?
1976, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, that time I look a bit of boy, man.
Eh?
That time I boy, I go.
That time you're a boy?
Yeah, I tell you if it was 6 apart. Son.
Yes.
But I tell you something, you know. Yesterday I going on for a van, right?
Uh-huh.
Half a team, my boss, brother, I dropped me down. I never know sign of to sit down on the van side. This policeman I come look up. Let him off 5 and somebody just come off big and bowl and say, "Yeah, do you lock me up?" Eh?
Uh-huh.
You lock me up, sir. Yeah, you see me gun? And I look at a K9 for yesterday, you know.
Uh-huh.
And me just walk off and lower him there. When I come back, me just say, you know me? Huh? You know me? When you see people paying with the most low people.
Yes.
And then in shake head and me just go about my business.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the type of police where them put the arm to brutalize people paying with.
Uh-huh.
That's not right, man.
No.
You want a better country, better police force, a better university. Look, the man we just called a while ago, you know, I tell about public, you know. Stop working them people, they're not shame. And them are government. Eh?
Yes.
So Mr. Thiago do, 1980. 1980, the man build the country. Look, where do you go watch it? I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe. I go watch it, go do some work. I couldn't believe. I watch me now. They come like foreign. They don't come like Jamaica. You understand? And this foreign, the traffic grow money. Want the money, they're not sending it back yet. I'm not hearing nothing to you. Eh? And you have one boy who come on the station and beat down Desmond Mackenzie, but he must sabotage cricket. Tell him, eh? And you have one boy who come on the station and beat down Desmond Mackenzie, but he must sabotage cricket. Tell him, listen. Tell him, we don't have the time for sabotage cricket. We build Jamaica. You understand?
Yes.
We don't have the time for that. Because when the Jamaica Labour Party, when Bruce Golding win, a different change. Different environment. You understand? Look, Colin PMP in a power, Colin Campbell government in a power. He never fix tavern, he never fix falling, he never do nothing to the community more than fix where the PMP them there, down a tavern.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Dr. Bartlett win 2006, 2002. And if you got to, you never see on TV when you walk me road. You see it?
No, I didn't.
You should have get back the paper and look on it. All the place pretty.
All the place what?
All the place pretty. The people them are you can't, that's not even a sky juice bag right now. Panic going down there. Because I'm going to tell you to take you. You understand?
Well, that's good.
I see when the time the center are open, when you come visit the center. Don't me, I want you visit the up at Beverly's and Swimado. My work.
Okay.
I just choose say boy I'm busy. You understand? You come in the community regular. Regular.
Yes.
But you must to the country and all. I hope you come back and we go down and understand and find out what's the problem with the people and down there, why it cause the shooting.
Boy, I can't imagine what the problem could be that would lead to the killing of people on that scale.
Mr.
Like
Perkins.
You know?
Look.
And little children.
Eh?
Huh?
They're not a mother. The gunman is not a mother.
Nor sisters, nor brothers, nor children.
Nobody at all now.
Yes,
why you kill a 2-year-old people?
No, what is happening is that we are destroying our people, you know, sir. Our greatest industry in this country is the destruction of human potential.
And when
right?
Human rights are going to vindicate for them man.
Yes, well. Anyway, thank you very much.
All right.
All the best to you.
Yeah.
We have an email here from somebody in Britain saying that newspapers in Britain this morning carried a story saying Pakistan coach Bob Wilmot died of an overdose of prescription drugs and alcohol. Newspapers in Britain are carrying that story. Question, is that the truth? I think that the post-mortem is being done today, I believe. And we haven't yet heard when we're likely to be told what the cause of death was. But anyway, that is what the newspapers in Britain are saying. I don't know how they come by that information. Okay, hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes?
Morning, Mr. Perkins.
Morning to you. We're not hearing you very clearly.
Morning.
Morning to you.
I want to call you from the other day.
Do
you have a pen in your hand?
A what?
A pen.
Do I have a pen?
Yes, in your
Yes,
hand.
I do.
If you can't draw, if you can't draw, try doodle this one.
No, speak directly into the phone for me. I'm not hearing.
I want you to draw something.
To draw something?
Yes.
What do you want me to draw?
Draw what type of vehicle do they carry down for cricket?
Do what?
Do they bring down for cricket? What type of vehicle? The type of vehicle that they are using for cricket.
The type of vehicles?
Yes.
BMWs, I gather.
Right. Draw a BMW for me. Just draw a vehicle. Draw a vehicle look like a BMW.
Yes.
Put on it cricket. Put on the body cricket. Put in the trunk the people's term. And put on the wheel.
Yes.
Election. Bye. Bye.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good
morning, Mr. Perkins.
Good morning to you, Mom.
Oh, I'm calling on behalf of my 12-year-old niece.
Yes.
An incident happened on Thursday in the Lawrence Tavern Square, which is a schoolmate of hers. And my understanding is that the police didn't take the little boy in custody. They took my 12-year-old niece, and they placed her at the Gleaner Place of Safety yesterday after they took her to the family court.
What happened?
Just a little childish squabble, really. But I understand that after the mom and dad went up there, that's my sister and her husband, the policemen were there saying that my daughter that had an incident last year got away from him, and our family's safety, so he's going to do it to the highest level that he can to my 12-year-old niece.
And he said that in the presence of...
Yes, in front of my immediate family. And yesterday at the family court, my niece let the judge know that he boxed her twice, and he denied it. So, and he has made threats on her life.
And have you got a lawyer?
I think they're getting one in the process. But my niece is to do the GSAT next week, and she's at the Gleaner now, and she won't be able to sit it.
Oh my God. Well, what is it that was supposed to have happened?
Just a childish fight. This little boy hit her, and she hit him back. Right, and then they said that they're going to charge her for resisting arrest. They uncuffed her, and said that she told the constable a bad word.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what is happening in this country.
This is the Lawrence Tavern police station.
Oh, hell.
And she attends Lawrence Tavern Primary School.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well.
So they're using somebody else's fat to fry somebody. They're using my fat to fry my nieces.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether it would be a good thing for you to get in touch with the Office of the Children's Advocate about this.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, and I think they'll set a date for a next court hearing for April while she's at Glen Hope.
When is that? When is that going to be?
In April, sometime in April.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the court, has the court been made aware?
Oh, they know. Remember that they know her age. She's 12. She's a minor. She's before the court. Her parents went with her yesterday, and they just didn't want to know. The judge just didn't want to hear. They sent her off to Glen Hope yesterday. The judge just didn't want to hear, Mr. Perkins. They just don't care. They said, okay, Glen Hope.
Yes. Oh boy. That seems to me to be rather extreme.
It's extreme, and it's a vendetta against me and my other daughter that used to attend a high school in Lawrence Tavern. Yeah.
Oh, hell. Boy, I don't know. Maybe.
Should charges be brought against these policemen?
Yes.
Okay, so you're suggesting that I get a lawyer?
I think you should get a lawyer to handle this.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Perkins.
All the best to you.
All right, all the best.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Perkins.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Uh-huh.
I can't talk to you more than 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But I want to say something about the fire trucks.
Yes.
Alright. Don't laugh, man.
Funny story.
No, it's not funny, no.
Eh?
It's not funny, no.
I gather that the minister, Minister Peart, has ordered an examination?
Yes.
Of all the trucks that they brought in?
Yes.
But I should have thought that the examination would have been done before they brought them in.
Definitely. What I'm coming to, but I need more time. I was born in a time when naked chassis used to come from England to make people put steak body on it, wood body or iron body.
Yes.
But what I'm coming to, Mr. Perkins, quickly, is that the insurance company used to send down what they call insurance clamps. You heard about those things?
Insurance stamp.
Clamp, C-L-A-M-P.
Eh?
Insurance clamp.
Oh, clamp.
C-L-A-M-P. They will send on at least 4 of those clamps. And whatever, before the truck pass at the examination depot, you have to have those clamps bolt along whatever body it is onto the chassis. You understand?
Yes.
So that the vehicle is safe. And I'm saying that men used to make all over Jamaica used to make wooden body.
Yes, but I'm not sure that this problem here is related to a chassis problem.
Of course it's related. Because a water tank, as we know, we know how a water tank is situated on a truck chassis. And by some way or the other, they must can reinforce, not because it is from United States, but it can be reinforced some way order to make it safe.
Yes.
Because I remember, I'm not gonna pat myself on the shoulder, but I remember working at a place, and one of my job was to put on some 50,000 gallon water tank and some 50-ton haul trucks.
Yes.
Backside trucks. And I'm gonna tell you something. I supervised them job, and it was done so successful that the trucks used to go over on backside terrain in that asphalt road like this. And the people who sent down the tanks were Magnum, whatever the name, they were so pleased to see how we keep those tanks down on those trucks. And those trucks were originally tipper trucks to tip backside. And it was done very safe. But I'm saying, you have some other people too who are criticizing the trucks that they are left-hand drive and not good to make political mileage, and I don't think it's fair.
Why?
No, it's not fair. Because
would it not be better to have had right-hand drive vehicles?
No, Mr. Tweet. No, Mr. Tweet. What happened? People who drive heavy-duty units like me, trucks and trailers, when the vehicle, a large vehicle like that, remember, you have to look at the pedestrian. You pass pedestrian, you overtake and things like that. They are saying that the fire trucks have to overtake. But it's a long story. I have to talk to you again. But if you drive a big vehicle, ask them guys who drive these big American trucks on our highway, and they will tell you that the better truck to drive, you can skim the bank closer, you can see what to do better on a left-hand drive vehicle. I have driven left-hand drive vehicles. You drive left-hand drive pickup. I'm talking trucks.
Right?
I know you.
No, but the same applies to any left-hand drive vehicle. Right? That you're closer to the bank and so on.
Yes.
But the fact of the matter is that when you're overtaking, it is a more complex problem than would be with a right-hand drive vehicle.
That is the only overtaking, but I'm telling you.
Yes, but part of the thing about one of these trucks, a fire truck, is that they're going along the road. They have their siren on.
Yes.
There's a line of traffic.
Yes.
They have to overtake it.
Yes.
Right? And they have to come out to overtake it. Right? It would be easier if it were right-hand drive.
No, sir. I mean, if you drive a big truck, a tall truck, you will know it's not too easier. It's not much easier.
Oh.
But because you drive...
It depends on what is in front of you, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I drive trucks, I know. You drive...
Yes, if some big trucks are in front of you, it makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes, but I'm telling you, you look on the highway today, and you look at, say, a 40-foot trailer coming from Salomar to Kingston. And you look at it and see they don't...
Anyway, the problem now is not a problem of the left-hand drive.
No, that's not the problem.
The problem is a problem of the...
Yes.
Of the construction of the vehicles,
yes, right.
whether they're properly constructed and so on.
No, but
now, are these new vehicles or are they second-hand?
They're new vehicles, but what I'm saying, of course they're new vehicles.
New vehicles?
Yes, but I'm
then
saying,
how is it that this accident happened?
No, because sometimes, Mr. As I told about these clumps that can mark your man may say it is a tank, but the water, as you know, water is not stable. And the tanker has to have baffles in it, something like that, which... No,
but the thing must have been made for that. Should have been made for that.
But I'm saying...
Should have been... What are you saying? That it wasn't properly designed?
I'm not saying it. But our examiners are very skilled and they know what to suggest. You understand what I mean?
Then if the examiners are skilled and the manufacturers are skilled, how is it that this accident occurred?
You see, we have to investigate it too.
What?
Some investigation has to be done.
So I noticed Mr. Peart is doing, but the question is, why wasn't it done before the trucks were bought?
Well, you know, a new vehicle...
Anyway, I have to go.
Yes.
Time for the news. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Boy, the people are just dying left, right, and center all over the place. Beth Jacobs is dead. A woman who contributed a great deal to Jamaica in her time, to the well-being of people in this country. National Family Planning National Family Planning Association, was it? Or board? There's a board. But I suspect that it was an association. We need something like that in Jamaica today, you know. Need it with the vigor that she put into it when she started it years ago. Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Yes, sir, I'm calling from St. Elizabeth, sir.
Yes?
Having a problem, sir. I have a broken bone from 11th of October 2003.
A broken bone?
Yes, sir. And I get the surgery done in last year. I don't remember the date in last year I get it done, sir. But the problem that I have in Mr. Perkins, I put the case to a lawyer. You hear me, sir?
Yes.
I put the case to a lawyer in Black River. And the lawyer send me to another lawyer in Kingston, which I don't know anything about Kingston. Alright. And my cousin left from Kingston, come down to Southfield here in St. Elizabeth and say, I tell him about the case that I gave to the lawyer. He say, the lawyer forfeit the case.
Lawyer do what?
The lawyer forfeit the case. He shouldn't send me to no lawyer in Kingston. Every document, him should send it to Kingston. Right? And him come and take the documents and we went to Kingston, to another lawyer in Kingston.
Yes, alright. Don't bother with the lawyer's name.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
But I don't see what the difficulty is with that.
Yes, sir. It's going on 3 lawyer now. From 11th October, it's 3 lawyer now on the case now, sir.
Uh-huh.
And I cannot hear nothing about it, Mr. Perkins. And
yes, but that doesn't mean that it's their fault, because there are a lot of cases that take a lot of time to come to trial in our courts, ma'am. What you got your leg broke? Was it your leg broken?
My hand, sir.
Hand was broken. How?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How did this happen?
In an accident, sir.
Oh, I see. So you're suing the motor car accident?
Yes, sir.
I see. So you're making a claim against the car driver and owner and insurance company, eh?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know, Mum. I don't know that it necessarily means that that the lawyers are doing anything wrong, you see. Because when was it that the case was filed?
The case was you call it about 3 years now, sir.
3 years?
Yes, yes, sir. This year make 4 years. From 11th of October, it been going on.
Yes.
2003.
Well, what do the lawyers tell you?
About 2 weeks about Mr. Perkins. Him called me in Kingston saying want to take another X-ray on the hand. To make another claim about the plastic surgery. I said the hand is not need to take in a plastic surgery because I don't want to go through any more process about the plastic surgery because I'm afraid that this is to take the operation because through me take the operation and this hand it takes so long to heal. It is not properly healed. So I don't want to go do no more surgery on it right now because I can hardly use it, Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
And the thing that I done, sir, to do a living is deliver me do, sir.
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. Back online.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, Mum. Look here. The mere fact that it is running for 3 years, right? I don't think that means a great deal. Having regard to what one understands is the state of things in the courts, you know?
Yes, sir.
But if you have doubts about it, try some other lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Right?
And the next thing, Mr. Perkins. Having the next problem, sir, I'm asking if you could help me, sir. My husband died, sir, about 1 year now.
Your husband?
Yes, sir. And I sent up for the widow's pension. Wishing Mr. Perkins I cannot read properly, sir. I carry documents them to the NIS office and then pay me $47,000, sir.
$47,000?
Yes, sir. And said the book will follow, sir.
The what will follow?
The book, the checkbook. Will follow, sir.
Yes.
After about 2 weeks after that, I called to the office. And when I called to the office, they said they cancel the widow's pension because me never report that I'm married and me should have report the marriage and then they sending back that book and report and then we...
Oh, you mean you never report? You're married to him?
Yes, sir.
Then there must be a record of the marriage, ma'am.
The first, 2 times I married Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
And the first husband died, sir. I'm going to go back and married again. And this last husband now I'm married to, since we made the accident, him collapsed and die again. So me sign up now for the widow's pension for this last husband. Wishing me may have the other one before, but me never know, to me can't read. They say me should carry it back in. Right? So they send $45,000, sir. Come give me.
Yes, you said
that.
After
they send the $45,000, they say a book should follow. Wishing the week's payment will be $3,000 a fortnight.
Yes.
All right. After the 2 weeks after, that I in December now, 2 weeks after, then call up at the office and then box inquire about the book. Them say then cut it off because me should have replied both semi-married and the children them they are now go school, Mr. Perkins, me not have it and their hand broke up, me can't work.
That sounds to me like nonsense, ma'am. If you were married to the man,
yes, sir.
Then I take it you're entitled to the pension. I don't know.
Sir.
Eh?
Sir?
I don't really know, but I wonder whether this is a matter for the public. I don't know if public defender would handle matters like that.
Mr. Perkins, that is hard for me, Mr. Perkins, because me not working, sir, and my husband, my 2 husbands dead. They pick me, I go to baby cook high school. One day, a 17-year-old, me have to take him out of school before time because show your hand break and me can't work again, sir. And I did like a pension, me been a depend fan to send them to school and then flop it down. Not even $1 they not give me, Mr. Perkins, and it's very tough on me because I don't know what to do, sir.
I tell you what, call the office of the public defender.
Yes.
Right? And give them that information. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello? 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 Let's try somewhere else. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
I have a serious problem here, so I wanted to
Oh,
help.
hell.
Applying for my birth certificate. My mother applied for it since I was 15 years old.
Uh-huh.
And now, September I'm 30 this year, and I know I can't get it, sir.
How long ago? Well, when you were 15 years old,
Yes, sir.
your mother applied for it.
Yes, sir.
You're now 30,
Yes, sir.
and you haven't got it yet?
I haven't got it. It's only the little red piece. That's the only piece that I have.
That is the original one.
Yeah, the one that's...
Well, I tell you what. Make sure you don't give them that one, you see?
Well, that... Sir, I not give it to one of the agency.
I beg your pardon?
I give that piece to one of those man that look for birth certificate at the agency.
Uh-huh.
And him cannot find it, but I still have the entry number.
Yes, but...
And,
no, hold on. You gave it to him,
yes, sir.
and he still has it.
No, he cannot find it.
He can't find it.
Me and my sister hold.
Look here. Look here. You
Yes,
should
sir.
never... anybody who is listening to this program, who has one of those birth certificates,
Yes, sir.
and wants to, and is thinking of going to get one of the current birth certificates,
Yes, sir.
don't put that old birth document into the hands of anybody at the RGD,
Yes, sir.
right?
But I was,
Or any official person.
Yes, sir. I was applying.
Make a copy of it,
Yes, sir.
right? Go and get a copy of it made, right?
Yeah.
And put the copy into there, and don't put the original. You might get it back.
She was trying with RGD first, and she couldn't get it.
Yes.
But when I used to go to high school, I was running for the school and was supposed to go to Miami Classic.
Uh-huh.
And that's when she started look about it.
Yes.
And she don't get it. And since I turned woman for myself, I've been trying, I never get it. 2 times then said let's do an index search and all the search, and they don't find it, so they go and let me do a late registration.
How can they not find it?
They said
when
they don't have anything up there for me.
Eh?
They said they don't have anything up there for me.
Then how you came by the little pink one?
That's what I'm saying. My entry number is MK1595.
Yes.
And Mrs. Suzette Darian told me to come Wednesday. She's going to do a late registration. So
a late registration?
Yes. She said
why should you do a late registration when you're already registered?
That is what I'm saying, Mr. Perkins, and they said they don't find anything.
Uh-huh.
So that's what they were suggesting to do, and it's been years now. I can't get no passport. I can't do nothing.
You need to bring a lawyer into the picture, ma'am.
When she sent me the 24th of January and said I must go back to the clinic where my mother go when me just born, go back to the first school that I go and bring school record. I bring all of those on Wednesday, and when I go Wednesday, she telling me that they're doing farm search, and that's what they were doing all over the years. She's telling me that the NK 1595, Mr. Perkins, they forgot about the NK 1595.
Look here.
They're doing a different search.
How much are they asking you to pay for the re-registration? For the
Then the lady said to my mother that it's going to cost a lot of money, but she never said the figure.
I see.
So my mother tell me that it's their problem. Yes, but she can't say what happened to it. She's only telling my mother that it has been misplaced.
I see. Well, you see, the government is having a budgetary problem, you see. So they're trying to raise money for the government, I'm sure. But look here. What you need to do is to bring a lawyer into the picture.
Yes, sir.
Right? And
Yes,
take
sir.
them to court.
Yes, sir.
What is happening is that they're getting away with these things. I don't know whether it is an efficiency or what. But I don't see how, if you have a birth certificate, the old birth certificate, then
Yes,
it means that you were registered.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And I have the entry number right here in front of
So
me.
what have they done with it at the RGD?
She said it has been misplaced.
And they're asking you. Eh? They're now going to ask you to pluck out money to pay to be late registered.
Registration.
Right? When you were already registered, and if the original registration document is lost, that isn't you that lost it, it's they who did. Look here, get yourself a lawyer, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Right?
I don't know what more
And I bet you that when you get yourself a lawyer, you quickly find that you find that they have that they've somehow managed to find the registration.
I'm supposed to go and see the lawyer tomorrow.
Oh, you're supposed to go and see a lawyer tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Because I don't know what more to do. I can't move. I can't do nothing. 15 years now.
Excellent. Sue them.
I sent up for my son and they said it come give me. And they said my name, my years and everything. I wonder where to get those information from.
Yes.
To send and for my son one.
Uh-huh.
And every time I put it.
Yes. Hello? God done. All right. I hope she sues them. Right? That what is happening is that they get away with these things. Right? People just suffering in silence and don't do anything about it. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mr. Perkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to give a little information in regards to this lady who called in about her child who was taken to Gleaner, place of safety.
Yes.
I think it is so unfair. I think if I'm going to give you a number, but maybe you could call Mr. Winston Boyne. He's the director of programs with CDA, that's Children's Development.
What? Director of programs?
Yes, and he has been with this department for many years and very knowledgeable.
Yes.
And I think he would be able to assist you. His number is 922-8461.
8461.
He's Mr. Winston Boyne. He's very knowledgeable and has been with the department for many years.
Hold on just a moment. 922.
Yeah, 8461. You know, some of these policemen. 8461.
And he's Mr. Winston
Boyne. He's director of programs and he has been with the department a number of years.
Boyne.
Winston Boyne, B-O-W-E-N.
Yeah.
Yes, he might be able to help. I know
programs.
Mrs. Clark is also the children's advocate, but Mr. Boyne might be able to help you as well. He has been there for a number of years.
Yes.
You know, some of these policemen, they just love to take children and push them in place of safety without really getting in touch with the various departments that can help better than putting, and especially this child who is to take her examination, you know. I'm quite concerned about it. So if you try him, let me be able to help you.
Yes, but
because we have
how can a policeman do and get away with that kind of thing?
Exactly so.
Unless the state, the whole state, the police is superiors in the police force, the courts, the government, whatever. Right? I don't know how we can get away with this.
I tell you, this happens often. This happens all the time. Because some of them are really not aware of really what they should do and, you know, as it relates to children. And I'm really very concerned about it. But I think Mr. Boyne might be able to help you.
All right.
You try that. Thank you very much.
I wonder if that lady is listening. Because I think the good thing would be if she would call. But let's try and call Mr. Boyne, no? Yes, we take a break. We come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here on...
Mr. Perkins.
Hello?
Frank Phipps calling you back.
Oh, yes, Mr. Phipps.
I just want to make something clear. I heard somebody calling you after I had been on. And it is perhaps possible that he doesn't understand.
I beg your pardon?
It is possible that he does not understand the proceeding.
Yes.
You see, extradition is a special law. It is done by the resident magistrate.
Yes.
And if you wish to challenge what the resident magistrate does, you must do it by way of habeas corpus proceedings.
Yes.
That goes to the full court.
Yes.
Originally, there was no appeal for habeas corpus. But then Parliament granted appeal in 1994, I think it was, which allows appeal only to the Court of Appeal. You cannot go any further.
Yes.
You follow me?
Yes.
The case
but I wonder why.
Well, because Parliament hasn't granted that right.
I know.
Habeas corpus has never been subject to appeal until we got that limited right.
Yes.
And then the case that is before the Privy Council is because it is alleged that there's a breach of a constitutional right.
Yes.
You know? Now, the precipitous action of the minister would not allow for the man to say to his lawyer, well, look, since I had an anonymous witness, I am deprived of my constitutional right to be confronted by my accuser.
Yes.
That's the only chance that he had. But then that is evaporated when the man was extradited.
Yeah.
I just thought that your caller should know that there was no opportunity to appeal.
Yes, I made that point to him.
Oh, good. And the other thing is that the question of the constitutionality of the act was, we are prevented from arguing it in the Court of Appeal because of the previous decision that is now in the Privy Council.
Yes,
You know?
Yes.
I just want to make sure that this gentleman understood that. Okay?
But you mentioned it. You mentioned it.
In this case?
In this case?
Yes, and they said, no, you can't argue it now because it is already argued and it's before the Privy Council.
Yes.
You know?
But you were suggesting that that the determination of this matter should await the outcome of that case.
Precisely.
Yes.
Because it affects everybody. Yeah, I just wanted your caller to know it's not a question that we did not act quickly. It's
Yes.
just that we had nothing more to do.
But hold on. If a court makes a decision on Friday afternoon and the men are sent away on Sunday morning, whatever the right of appeal or whatever that you might have had, there is no time even to think about it.
Great. Anyway, there you are. Thank you very much for trying to clear it up.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Okay, hello? Hello?
Mr. P.
Yes, sir.
Good day, sir.
Good day to you.
I'm so concerned about the little child that in Kenwood activity and the GSAT coming up.
Yes.
Can you find out from the principal or the principal at the school if the child is a violent child? And why, and if it's a vendetta, I think the commissioner of police will get involved in this. If it is a vendetta against the police to those families, I think the commissioner of police will get involved inside of this. The child is going to do GSAT, and why the authorities try to deny the child opportunity to go to a high school.
Well,
I
precisely.
think it should call the principal to find out from the principal if the child is a violent child, what if she know anything about this fight, and see what. Mr. Perkins, you're the only hope some people have, you know, sir.
Is that so?
You're the only hope. That's why because she's trying to turn and she don't know where to turn.
That sounds terrible. But look here.
And this is the problem because the authority is not helping her.
Well,
so if you can get in touch with the principal of the school, Mr. Perkins, and find
we're
out
trying to
about
get
the
in
child.
touch. We're trying to get in touch with Mr. Winston Boyne, sir.
Huh?
We're trying to get in touch with Mr. Winston Boyne. He might be able to help.
And in the meantime, so get in touch with, so we can get the principal at the school.
All right.
Because the principal must can set some like, because there's other children out there now walk up and down with gun in them bag of gas school, and the police taking them off the road to go put them in a home.
Yeah. The principal of which school?
I think she said it's Lawrence Tavern, and the lady is listening, she can call back and tell you. I think
Oh,
it's,
yes, I think it's Lawrence Tavern.
Some school up Lawrence Tavern, their primary or something like that.
Well, let's try to Mr. Boyne.
But somebody can give some. Why are you going to? Why they take the 12-year-old throw him in a jail house and the child is going to do a GSAT? The GSAT is the only chance that the child having on Mr. Perkins. And when I tell you about education, GSAT is the only chance the people them have. And them feel you have done them, but take it from me. And I make body from Minister of Education call you and tell you nonsense. That's where it stops. Them have no more chance but to take it from me, and all parents can call who go through GSAT.
But I wonder if this was as the mother describes, a fight going on between this boy and this girl, then why should they have taken the girl?
That's what I'm saying.
And locked her away?
That's what I'm saying. Look, and this week is mock exam going on for the GSAT, and the child is locked up in a place, not studying for a GSAT, not revising for a GSAT. Right? You do what I'm saying, Mutty?
Yes.
Right, sometimes you get something happening in Jamaica, man. Your belly bunny, man. Your belly bunny, Mutty.
I tell you something.
From me, man. Your belly bunny, man. But try and find out, Mutty. Because you're the only hope the people have. That's why them call you.
All right, sir.
Please, now take a Mutty.
We'll have a shot at it. Okay, hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
I understand about legal rights and the case that yourself and Mr. Frank Phipps are arguing.
Yes.
But, and there's a big but, do you know that a lot of people who are in substance abuse, the very substances that these people are exporting, young people...
The very substance that these people are...
Namely Williams and Rancharan.
Are doing what?
Exporting from this island.
Do you know that they were exporting
all right.
those substances?
The grand jury must have had evidence to come to that conclusion. All right? Let me
well, I don't know, Mom.
Listen, Mr. Perkins, before you pass a judgment. Good?
Hold on a little bit. A grand jury deals only with...
federal cases.
No, with prima facie evidence. Right? In other words, what the grand jury decides is not on the basis of evidence beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Even taking that for granted, all right? Now, the doctors in this country can tell you a lot without doubt, all right? Here is a patient who has a female sexually transmitted disease. She's told, tell your boyfriend either to go to a doctor and get treatment or he can come to me, all right?
Come to you?
Now, several months pass. Yes, I'm a doctor.
Oh, you're a doctor.
All right. Several months pass and he appears. Now, you must keep in mind that this young lady is involved in the airlines, all right?
Yes.
He came to me and identified himself.
Which young lady? The young lady?
Who had a sexually transmitted infection.
Yes.
Who I treated, all right?
But then you talk about...
Wait, no, you don't finish yet. Wait, no. He comes, tall, handsome, young man, okay? And after he tells me the name of the young lady, I look up her notes, I give him treatment and so. And he then tells me, for my kindness to him, I can get any amount of currency in any amount of money I want in any currencies throughout the world. So I said, how is this possible? He then tells me he's in the export of drugs, okay? So I said to him, do you sleep well at night? He said, yes. I said, are you sure? Yes, I sleep very well. I said, have you ever thought of the number of people, young people throughout the world, that you are injuring their mentality, their hope for tomorrow? I said, even if it is ganja in the young, it destroys the memory. He said that don't affect him at all. They buy it because they want to buy it. So I said, but what an attitude he has. He said, but on the other hand, I'm home here at Christmas now. I'm having a party for 500 people in the western section of Kingston from which I come. Good? And I bought this and that, tell me all the various things that they think. And I'm helping the people. You ever read the book 100 Years of Solitude?
No.
It can apply to any third world country, in it is general. And because he was defending the rights of the people, good? Appointed general in quotation marks. They gave him their daughters because they considered it an honor for them to have a child by this general, so to speak. Okay, 100 Years of Solitude. Read it, you can extrapolate from that to any third world country, okay? Well, in this case, it's the Don. You and I know a certain Don who you have even spoken to with trepidation on the program here some time back. He has 14 children. He now has a deadly disease. How many of those children and ladies that he went to has them? Let me tell you, these women in Jamaica might consider it a favor, just like that poor 12-year-old girl. And one thing you're talking about, child abuse and how terrible it is and how horrible it is. But in poverty, they do certain things. Right? And you are telling me that these people, you remember the furore there was when these men were first imprisoned or put in jail?
Yes.
Or the whole community, how they support this, they support that, and they would have offered their children to these men. Okay?
Yes, ma'am, but you can't make... You have no evidence. Hold on.
I have no evidence.
You have no evidence of that in relation to these two men.
All right.
Right?
You mean that but I am telling you, well, look at it from the other point of view. The drugs that... All right, you're going to say...
You do not know. You do not know that these men were engaged in selling drugs.
All right, let us suppose, therefore, it is believed that they are involved. Mr. Phipps talks about snowball in hell. You know how many people on substance abuse are virtually snowballs in hell? Not only them, but their parents, their relatives, their brothers, their sisters,
their aunts. Who are the people?
And you are telling me that these men, I was so happy when I read in the papers that they were extradited. I quite understand about human rights and what the government is doing and all the rest of it. Good. But when you capture these men, put them abroad. Let the snowball in hell catch up with them.
But you know, Mom, you are talking on the basis of prejudice.
Not prejudice.
Not on the basis of fact.
I tell you, I had
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back with you, Mom.
Yes, Mr.
Hello,
Perkins.
Mom. You're a doctor, right? And therefore an educated woman.
Hopefully.
And I should have thought that you would have had no difficulty recognizing the difference between mere accusation and proof of guilt. Right?
Yes, my father was a lawyer, though.
But you seem to be having a difficulty.
Very well. Let me tell you something. He defended a murderer in the Spanish Town court, and he got off. And my father gave up criminal cases from then on. He came home the night and told my mother that he was convinced the man was guilty of murder. But because of his advocacy, he got off the man. Okay? And he did chamber work, only chamber work after that. And he was a relatively young man at the time. I wasn't even born then. Okay? So let me tell you, these lawyers, usually the clients tell them the truth. They sometimes tell...
They usually what?
Usually tell them the truth before they even take the case. Look, man, I know you're in this thing, okay? So, put the facts before me. In the case of a doctor, they come and confess to you like they're in a confessional box. Okay? And tell you what they are doing.
Yes.
Okay? No, if the doctors in Jamaica were brave enough to come on the telephone.
Whatever may be the case, whatever may be the truth of that.
Yeah.
Right? The fact of the matter is that the guilt of these men has not yet been determined.
Then you to tell me that they're dunderheads as lawyers at the Supreme Court?
I beg your pardon?
That they're only dunderheads in the Supreme Court? The lawyers there are dunderheads.
I don't know what is the relevance of that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right?
But you know the relevance. We all agree that in truth and in fact.
No, but I really am very disturbed.
Yes.
That somebody like you should be coming here to say the things that you're saying.
Well, I'm glad that you are disturbed, Mr. Perkins, because at least you look on the other side of the coin. Okay?
I don't see any...
I might be wrong from a legal point of view. I see the point you're making here, and I agree with you that Jamaicans need to rebel and defend human rights. I agree with that. But that doesn't cloud the issue
but not
of
only that,
abuse.
Not only that.
Specifically. Right,
specifically. If to the degree that the difference between accusation and proof of guilt is in any way clouded, we are all in danger.
Yes. True, I agree. I'm agreeing with you.
You're agreeing?
Yes, I tell you, I can see your point and Mr. Phipps' point about
but you don't mind, you are doing it, right?
I mean, I'm doing it.
Because you don't expect, I suppose, that you would find yourself in this position.
It might happen one day, but it won't be for drugs.
It might, you know.
Yeah.
Yes?
No, but seriously though, Mr. Perkins, I am very happy, and I repeat that they have been extradited, because when you think, look, a Colombian who was definitely an expert in cocaine, you know what he said? He said that what America should do is don't bother about troubling them. Look after the people who are buying. In other words, their clients up there.
Yes.
Good? Because if there wasn't a demand, he couldn't be in the trade.
That is quite true.
Right? No. When the drugs were among black Americans, little or nothing was done, It's when it hit the middle class in white America that Reagan did something about it. Seriously.
Reagan did something about it?
Yes.
But the Americans, the Americans have been doing something about drugs from way back.
Reagan wasn't today, no.
Right?
He was quite some time.
Yes, I know, but this thing started back in the 1930s.
Yeah, but that was heroin then.
Well, in fact...
We're talking about crack and cocaine and ganja now.
It started from about 1913, I think.
Yeah, and we had a priest out here who had great
success
in New York with the heroin.
In 1919,
they
made alcohol illegal.
Yes.
Right? And that is where the problem really started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But because when they finally admitted in the early 1930s that the alcohol thing wasn't going to work, and they rescinded the law that had been passed in 1990.
Right.
Right? The one thing that had been achieved by that legislation was the creation of the greatest organizations of gangs, criminal gangs, that the world had ever known.
Yes, the mafia, we all know about
the mafia is a Sicilian thing. And these gangs were making more money out of selling alcohol than any criminal gangs had hitherto made.
What by the president who was rotten rich who inherited from it too.
And when they abolished the anti-alcohol law, right? It left these gangs, these organizations, criminal organizations, without a source of the kind of income that they had made under the alcohol
and expected to continue to make
anti-alcohol regime.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they got into the business of selling these drugs, heroin, and ultimately cocaine.
But heroin was before alcohol was abolished,
I beg your pardon?
Heroin was there in New York.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that was the opportunity.
No,
right?
but the heroin thing...
That was the opportunity to make the kind of money.
No, the heroin thing has just surfaced again, but it was virtually wiped out at one stage. There might have been about...
I don't know about that. But
yes, Mr. Perkins.
All I'm saying is that these gangs got into the business of selling these other drugs.
Yes.
Right? Because they could make the money there that they could have made
via
alcohol. And the problem today is that if they ever decide, which would make sense in a way, that this thing about drugs is, if the United States with all its resources cannot suppress its own consumption of heroin and cocaine,
well, it's cocaine, crack and ganja.
In all the years between 1932 and today.
But the heroin was even before that. The heroin was there in the teens.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that between
it was there along with alcohol,
1932.
It didn't result as a fact from the taking of illegal alcohol off the market.
Yes, ma'am, but we're talking about nearly 80 years.
Yeah.
Right? In nearly 80 years, the Americans have not been able to suppress these drugs.
And if they succeed in suppressing, just if.
They're not going to succeed in suppressing
the
them.
people have already turned to medical drugs.
Whatever.
Amphetamine.
Yes.
Okay, so they have alternate sources.
Well, I'm just wondering, though, whether those can cover the kind of income that they would know that they have in mind, because I strongly suspect that if they were ever to give up on things like heroin and cocaine, that these people would have to go into selling atom bombs.
Well, maybe they are selling atom bombs at the same time. When you think of our great man that caused the 9/11 thing, he's supposed to be hot.
But don't you think, as a doctor,
you know that? Yes.
As a doctor, don't you think that that drug addiction should be treated not as a police problem, but as a medical problem?
I wholeheartedly agree with you. But until they come to that point, okay, because a detox unit don't stop here, you know.
But it seems to me that they've already caused a lot of misery in the world, including in their own country.
They have to have enough halfway houses for them to go from detox to half house. Detox is only about 3 weeks, you know. And then they go into halfway houses for months at end sometimes. Good. They would have to provide the society with that, which would be very costly. Instead, they are fighting in Iraq. Okay? And they're sending things to the moon and elsewhere. Into outer space.
Yes.
If they were just to concentrate, very soon they'll have nobody to fight for them, you know, because all of them will be on drugs of one form or the other. No, seriously. You know? And look at what has happened after Vietnam. And what was happening while the war was going on in Vietnam. And we have proof of that. There's no possibility that it wasn't so. But, Lord, Mr. Perkins, if you ever know what drugs do, even ganja, to the young, it destroys their memory. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you how bad it was. There was one guy who, he was in a school and the Rasta guys came down off the hill as a teenager, 14, 15, 16, good? And he smoked heavily and read the Bible and everything. He went abroad, good, to pursue. The only course he could pursue is doing technology, okay? Simple things, all right? He was to graduate in 2 years. He couldn't graduate in 2 years. They had to put it off to 3 years, okay? Because his memory just couldn't come. And mind you, there were other people there, but they weren't so steeped in it as he was, okay? So their whole life is changed because of this blooming drugs. Okay, I've been on a course with 2 courses with Professor Bober and the late Professor Michael Bober, and I know about substance abuse. Okay, so don't tell me that you have no idea the extent to which this permeates. It's like a blooming cancer in a society.
I'm not telling you that taking drugs is a good thing, you know, Mom.
Yeah, no, I know that.
But they're possibly worse things than taking drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that
like having hepatitis or AIDS.
I'm not telling you, I'm not sure that that the making of these drugs illegal is not what has fostered the widespread use of them.
Yeah, but until America comes to its senses and spends more money at home, good, looking after certain areas of its society, then it will always continue.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, you mean you don't?
I don't know that is...
A detox unit usually is a small thing, you know, and it can take X amount of patients, and every 3 weeks they turn them out. Unless you have a multiplicity of halfway houses to take these people. And then you have to take them from their normal surroundings of family and then where all the liquor places are, or all the, drug houses.
Hold on just a moment, please. Okay. Thank you very much. We're back here with you, Mom. Anyway, to come back to the question of these 2 men, right? First of all, what these men are accused of doing, well, certainly at least one of them, was allegedly done in Jamaica.
Yes.
Right? And would have been contrary to Jamaican law. So why does the American government or authorities not supply the Jamaican authorities with the evidence so that those men can be prosecuted right here in Jamaica?
Mr. Right? Perkins,
why have they got to be taken to the United States?
Let me ask you something.
Secondly, hold on just a moment. As it is, the American authorities have not supplied hard evidence of these men's guilt. All that they have supplied are affidavits, right? And these affidavits, the evidence given in these affidavits have not been subject to cross-examination, right? So, and in one case, a diplomat, an American diplomat out here, gave a document, an affidavit, making certain allegations.
Yes.
Right? The question was raised whether she could be brought to court to be cross-examined. And she refused to go.
Yes.
Right?
But maybe
no, that is not right.
Yes.
Why should a Jamaican be sent to the United States for trial, his whole life disturbed for several years, on that basis? That's not right.
All right, let me ask you a question. Did you read the Sunday paper in which there was confession of a policeman? I know you read it because you brought it up on your program.
Some months ago, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Not so many months ago, so it's the beginning of the year.
Oh, yes, all right.
All right?
Uh-huh.
No, with the degree of corruption that exists all around, you don't think that, these men are quite capable. I'll just give you an example. I was in a taxi, good? And this man came out of a Lennox, is it Lennox? Motor car. Brand new. Good? It had gold handles and gold, everything all around it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, but what the hell? You should have seen the quality of the person and his wife who came out of it. Good?
Uh-huh.
Nobody I know that is legally making a lot of money. Lexus, yes, making a lot of money around the place by whatever legal means or illegal means, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said, but to the taxman, how on earth can a man looking like that afford to have a Lexus like his? Him said, let me tell you something, doctor. Them damn policemen, all them have to do, you see, is follow a man like that to me yard. Him and so many cars them have up there. And when them will know if them go inside what they are doing. The taxi man.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? By the same
and
token,
that is
don't
proof.
you think the
That is all the proof you need.
No, that's not all the proof. But by the same token, couldn't the police also follow these people?
Yes.
No, seriously, if they really wanted to get them behind bars, because they know what is happening,
Uh-huh.
They have dossiers possibly and all in Ocherias, in St. Anne. They're supposed to be 5 dons down there dealing in ganja,
Uh-huh.
One of them went to prison. And it was said that while he was doing his prison term, he was seen, it was in a newspaper on the streets of Kingston, in a car with a lady on his side. Alright, you're going to tell me that nobody knows that he was in a car except the reporter who reported it? Lord, Mr. Perkins, we live here, and we know what corruption
I don't know,
to
Mom.
the height.
But we have to be very careful about how we go about, this business of prosecution. Right?
Hello, yes.
Because there is at least as great and possibly greater danger there than there is in the growing and marketing of ganja. And
crack and cocaine, you're joking.
I beg your pardon?
And crack and cocaine.
Yes.
The transshipment of crack and cocaine, some of it is being sold right here,
Well, maybe so, but
What do you mean?
But all that I'm saying is that people's freedom, people's rights are important. Right? And they shouldn't be taken away without good cause.
All right, Mr. Perkins.
Okay?
All right.
Okay,
we'll keep our opinions, all right?
Huh?
But I agree with you when it comes to people's rights. But I disagree with you in sort of putting up a case for certain individuals.
When what?
Anyway, in putting forward a case for certain individuals.
No, I'm not arguing that a case should not be put forward against them. But put forward a case?
No, I mean, you're sort of
show
defending
proof?
the rights of every Jamaican.
No, show evidence, man.
But
and when the president of the United States can get up and accuse or say of men whose extradition to the United States is being demanded, requested, demanded, whatever, right? And the president of the United States can say of them that they are drug kingpins, name them, and identify them as drug kingpins, right?
Yes.
Is it to be expected that these men will get a fair trial in the United States?
I don't know whether it be fair or unfair, but the would
you don't know and you don't care?
There would have to be.
You don't care?
No, it's not that I don't care, but evidence would be presented. What do you call it? The President of the United States has several advisors, He doesn't just go and get up and say, all right, we're going to Iraq. It's the whole of the advisors who tell him what is happening.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Good. The decision, most likely, if you trace it back in years to come. Look, even about poor Kennedy.
I don't know. Some of the advisors seem not to have known.
The files about the investigation into his death will not be released to the year 2058. All of us that were around at that time, they were gone, you know. Good? Why do you think they put it so far ahead? I don't know if you hope to be around, but I certainly don't hope to be around when the files concerning all of these.
When they do what?
No, the files concerning the death or the execution or the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Good? It is not to be revealed and open to the public until the year 2058. Now, all of us around here that are of our age will be long gone. I don't hope to be around. I don't know about you. All right? Good? So that, I mean, it's ridiculous to think that they know and have not proceeded to do anything about it. By the same token, the files will be released on these kingpins, whatever you want to call them. Good?
All right, Mom.
All right, Mr.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Bad.
You're bad?
I'm bad.
What about you?
I listen to a woman that should be intelligent, intellectually aware, and now I understand how Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany. When we suspect our intellect for emotion. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Now, how can such a bright woman who has some training of her mind and should understand what justice is and should understand what a civilization is and all the fight that people have done for justice, that it is better for 100 guilty men go free than one innocent man be convicted.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
That one innocent man be hanged for something he shouldn't do. Right? How can somebody like that allow emotion to also overcome them that they agree with a decision like that?
I don't know.
Mr. Perkins? No, if a person in that position can be lured by her emotional reaction to these things to come to that conclusion, then all of us are at risk.
Yes, indeed.
All of us are at risk. Suppose she has a doctor now, and somebody in America lay some information, and some diplomat say, yes, she prescribed OxyContin or some other drugs there, over-prescribe them to somebody in America, and they have a secret thing, and they say, let us extradite her to America. Wouldn't she want Mr. Frank Fitz to be standing up for her, right?
Absolutely, I could have thought
Why?
so.
Because these are little black boys, them look like them have pretty car and pretty house. They are expendable and they should go to America and rot in their jails. Eh? Don't they understand that justice for one is justice for all?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
I am shocked, Mr. Perkins. I am shocked. I saw no reason in her argument, just an emotional diatribe. I'm sorry to be upset, but I am afraid. That's why I tell you I'm not good. Because I see, it's the same way police killing off people like that, you know. And when you talk to some called intelligent people, they say, yes, them for dead, kill them all, kill them all. And you say, no, but we have a system of justice. They should catch them and go before the court and prove who is innocent. No, that the boy for dead. You know, it is so common in Jamaica. It is so common.
Well,
and these are
the
leaders of thought in the society, Mr. Perkins. What is going to happen to us? Eh?
Well, we're going to suffer the consequences of it, sir.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Perkins, in 1962, I was, 21 years of age. And I remember when we were going to independence, nobody could have been more excited more than me. And I suggest that you were too. That here was us, as a self-confident people with brains, with achievement, and with the world before them, that we are going to make this the best country in the world. Would you believe that in 2006, we would be the beggars of the Caribbean and the world?
No, sir.
Would we begging Trinidad? Would
No.
we begging this, contorting ourselves in our shapes, and now this little despot from Venezuela?
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think it possible.
Eh? Is this what we have been reduced to?
No, but I tell you something. I did know a lady.
Yeah.
Right? She used to work at the Gleaner.
Yeah.
And she also was a stringer
Yes.
for the French press agency.
Yeah.
Hold on just a moment for me, please. Okay, thank you very much. We're back on land.
By the way, but before...
Hello?
By the way, sir,
Uh-huh.
is it the same intelligence in the hands of the American president to be calling them drug kingpins
Yes.
that he received about weapons of mass destruction that was there in Iraq? Is that the same type of intelligence?
Well,
Wasn't he wrong in that there were no weapons? They haven't found any weapons of
they haven't
mass
found any weapons of mass
But they have found
destruction.
2 nigger boys in
Uh-huh.
Jamaica. That's our so-called Minister of Justice. Think so little of that him show them away to the American people them to how can they get any justice in America, buddy? Eh?
Well,
Hasn't been seen these documentaries on how black people and the justice system in America is going on? Eh? And we are so quick, we are so eager to just show our people there. Eh? What have we become? Is this what independence meant in 1962? Is this what Norman Manley dreamt of? Is this what Claire McFarlane dreamt of? Is this what Mutty Perkins dreamt of? Is this what Bustamante? Is this that we would reach a stage when we are little lackeys to what we thought we would be a proud independent nation?
Yes.
Protecting our citizens. Is this the way to protect our citizens? Or are we such beggars that we are afraid the Americans will be vexed with us?
Yes.
Is it because we can't find jobs for our people, our bright people, so they have to go to America to do menial work and send back over $1.5 billion in thing? Is that they are afraid of losing? What have we become? Would Singapore behave like that?
I
Would
don't
Japan
think so.
behave like that?
I don't think so.
Even look on Vietnam now.
But look at Cuba, sir.
Look at Cuba. Would Cuba behave like that?
No.
Then why are we behaving like that? Have we taken up the oldest profession in the world? Or are we strumpets of the Caribbean? Good Lord. We have a minister in Paulwell telling us about a non-existent gasification plant in Venezuela. It's all right. Venezuela come to it. Venezuela don't have a plant built yet for that.
Well,
do they have the expertise to bring it on steam so quickly?
Mr. Paulwell is also telling us, sir, with great assurance,
yes,
that we have commercial deposits of petroleum.
Yes.
The only trouble is that he hasn't yet located those deposits.
I tell you, Mr. Perkins.
He's sure that we have them,
I tell you.
but he's not sure. He doesn't know where they are.
Mr. Perkins, where's our pride as a people, man? We stand up. Boy, I tell you.
Boy, can you imagine the picture that is going to be painted in the election campaigning, sir?
What can you imagine?
With all that oil and natural gas.
Just coming from.
Oh boy.
My God.
Boy.
And look at these.
And all the wealth that is going to be procured from this.
Oh boy.
I
tell you, did I hear a figure this morning? I was listening to Mr. Faith's program, and the great oracle from St. Mary, Pastor Roper there. He was talking about Peter Phillips' speech, right?
Peter Phillips,
about the education system has gone to the dogs. And Mr. Roper was telling him, yes, the thing's really bad, and we know we should have vouchers for children to go to school and all that type of thing. And then the deacon said, well, you know, it's the parents' fault. It's not the education system's fault. It's the parents' fault. So everything go on the parents them know.
Oh yes. I tell you something. I heard that.
Yes.
Right? And you know, this has been going on for some time.
Yes.
It's everybody's fault.
It's everybody's fault.
Right? It's the parents' fault. It's much less. Well, it's not really the government's fault.
No.
Right.
I tell you, buddy.
Although, according to Dr. Phillips, I heard him talking about the educational system.
Yes.
Right? What an appalling, what is the other word? Anyway, what appalling mess it was in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Failure. And I was expecting that Mrs. Maxine Henry Wilson was going to come out to talk about the appalling failure of the security system.
They're an even power.
Right? But Dr. Phillips first hit her with that one too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Only he put the blame not on his own shoulders, but on those of Dr. Davis.
Well, he has a good point with Dr. Davis.
He has a good point.
He has a very good point here, because...
But I think it is a bit more than that.
It's more than that. But really much disaster. I mean to say, for generations yet to come, that we are going to pay for this disastrous policy. I told you that there is an inherent class war in Jamaica. And people don't understand me, right? Let me try to explain. There are people in Jamaica, just as when they had those balls in Paris before the revolution, French Revolution, that are dancing and eating all caviar and champagne. I say, yes, man, the economy is good. We have invested in these government stocks, and look, we are billionaires now. What are these little niggers bawling about? Go work, they don't want to work. They are lazy, shiftless people, but they don't want to work. People who want a yard boy up there, or some want kid cutter, or this want a banana worker. Right? Things are good. Look at us, we've never had it so good. But it's less than 1% of the population of Jamaica, but it. Look at the houses that they're building for them, right? Take, for instance, the National Housing Trust. They're advertising $4 or $5 million schemes, right? And the poor people, domestic $4 and $5 million housings, right? And somebody had a letter in there, so that they are a civil servant and they earn $50,000, $60,000 a month. They cannot afford that mortgage of over $30,000 a month.
Yes.
So you see, Mutty, there is a small coterie of people genetically linked in that thing. Yes, they've never had it so good, right? They're taking away the police commissioner office from up there because they see they can make millions out of that place there, and to put them downtown and things amongst the niggers. You get what I mean, Mutty? There is an inherent class struggle in this country that is going to boil over. Nobody is thinking about fixing the economy and make opportunities so that the poorest of us can come up and join them in their middle class thing.
Yes.
They glory in it that they can drive these SUVs, tint them up, turn on the air conditioning, and drive and watch the niggas them outside there. You don't feel it, but to bring everybody into the system. Just as a small set of them get richer and richer and richer. That is all they care. Look what happened to my parish. Look on St. Mary. We have an MP one time there. We still have it there, Harry Douglas. And when they ask about the wretched condition, he said, well, St. Mary are migrating people, Some of them go Kingston for work. Some of them go send. He don't think of creating conditions in the parish. That people see opportunities here. Poor man, he's limited in his thinking. Understand? He has been very good for himself, I'm sure. But look at what happened to the flood in Port Maria. And I told him that nothing has upset me as much as when I saw those plans for that housing scheme in Port Maria, which was quickly whisked away. It was too good for black people at St. Mary. But they can't. And they're going to float loan in America to build houses for people who can just barely manage a small mortgage, Mutty. Whose interest in this country being run? Certainly not the majority of our people. Sister P, you say I love the poor. Well, get up and do something for the poor. You should fire Omar Davis long time. He's against the poor. He's the darling of the rich class, the 21 families. Families don't join by other families.
Sister P can't fire Omar Davis, sir. Omar Davis is running the thing now.
Well, we have to have change in this country. And it must come, and I hope if the Labour Party wins and come to power, that they put economic
Dr. Omar Davis is a fixture in this government.
Oh, boy.
Right?
No hurricane that we have ever had, no earthquake we ever had, has done more to destroy. You know how much black people I know about it that build up business for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And Omar Davis policies wipe them out overnight.
Quite true.
Eh?
Quite true.
Boy, I tell you. Anyway, Mutty, thank you for your
All right, sir.
Good.
All the best to you. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins?
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
I am calling. I am a concerned citizen of Jamaica land we love.
Uh-huh.
And I'm calling definitely, Mr. Perkins, to commend the officer from the Lawrence Tavern police station who took this little girl off the street the other day.
Yes.
It was a disgrace, Mr. Perkins, to see a little girl of that age, the way how she was behaving in Lawrence Tavern.
How was she behaving?
Mr. Perkins, she had a little boy there that
First of all, did you see this?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
You were there. You witnessed it.
I witnessed it, Mr. Perkins.
Okay.
And she had a little boy there that she was fighting. The little boy get away from her, Mr. Perkins. And the little boy actually ran into a building. And she ran after the little boy. And there was a lot of adults.
A lot of what?
Adults.
Uh-huh.
Were standing there. And we were talking to this little girl. And she started telling us some blessive language, Mr. Perkins. She was behaving out of context for her age group person. And personally me, when the police was called, the police came in a marked police vehicle from the Lawrence Tavern police station. And when the police went over and started speaking to her...
And the police what?
The police alighted from the vehicle, went and started talking to this little girl. He spoke to her quite gentle.
Hold on just a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
And I was saying, Mr. Perkins,
I beg your pardon?
the amount of adults, of us that were there trying to calm down this little girl.
Yes.
And she was behaving out of context, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
She looked at us and she told us some blessive language.
Some what?
Some languages that you would never believe a girl of her age would ever speak.
Uh-huh.
And then the police was called. When the police came and she saw the marked vehicle. Yeah? And a child of her age, Mr. Perkins. When police alighted...
How old was she?
She attends a primary school, so she wouldn't be more than 11, 12.
11, 12.
Right, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
And the little boy that she was fighting, he ran away from her. And she started to tell the boy about his parents, his sister, with the underneath blessive language, Mr. Perkins. When a lot of us tried to calm her down. Even medical practitioner was there trying to calm her down.
Yes.
And she refused from listening to us, Mr. Perkins.
Yes. Would you speak more directly into the phone?
When the police came on the scene...
Yes, they tried to calm her down.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
And she refused to be calmed down.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
And when the police came on the scene, I'm telling you, that police from the Lawrence Tavern police station, he need to be commended for the way how he had operated on that particular day.
Uh-huh.
Because he was not upset when he was talking to the little girl. He came out of the vehicle, he started speaking to her and asked her to calm down. Mr. Perkins, the little girl looked on the officer. And if you hear the languages that she looked on the officer and told that officer, if it was some police officer, maybe they would have boxed her down.
Oh.
But that officer, he was very calm. He was very calm, and I stood there and was watching the procedure, Mr. Perkins. And she went as far as to say, "Jankro boy," to the officer.
Say what?
She called the officer Jankro.
Jankro?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
The little girl called the officer from the Lawrence Tavern police station, said, "Jankro boy, who you dirty boy?"
Uh-huh.
And the policeman repeatedly saying to her, "Just calm down, the little girl." And it's because of the dirty language she's telling the police put her in the vehicle. Everybody that was there said, "Officer, take her to the station."
Uh-huh.
And the police did that.
You don't think it would have been a good idea to call her parents?
Mr. Perkins, Nobody on the spot knew the parents' number.
But, maybe she would have known them.
She would not give it to anybody. Her sister was around, and the sister was trying to calm her down too.
Well, what is it that had happened? Why she got into this rage?
She came from school, Mr. Perkins, to the square where this incident took place with a little boy that she was fighting. And the little boy said, "Me not do you nothing, left me alone." And she telling the little boy, Mr. Perkins, where under his mother he used to go. And the little boy was crying too. And when she grabbed onto the little boy got away from her and run upstairs. And she ran up there. And adults, we were trying to calm down this little girl, and she would not listen to us. The girl, she just would not listen to no adult speaking to her. And Mr. Perkins, in Jamaica land we love, when we have children like this, the parents, the mother, the father, any relatives of this child, they should find the police at the Lawrence Tavern station who took this little girl to the station and said, "Officer, I thank you because this officer did nothing that was wrong to this child." The officer need to be commended. When the officers do things wrong, Mr. Perkins, we tear them down.
But I tell you something.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
The child is now locked up in Glenhope.
Yes, Mr.
Place of safety.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Right? Is that really well considered?
Mr. Perkins.
I mean, why not call her parents and bring her behavior to the attention of the parents?
Well,
right?
Mr. Perkins.
Why lock her up in a place of safety?
Well, Mr. Perkins.
You realize that little girl is not capable of committing a crime. All that she did were not crimes.
But Mr. Perkins.
Am I right?
Mr. Perkins. If you saw and listened.
She was in a rage.
Yes, Mr.
Obviously,
Perkins.
she was disturbed.
I am not saying.
For some reason, she was disturbed.
I am
right?
not saying, Mr. Perkins.
No, hold on. That child needs to be counseled. She needs to be taught to control herself and so on. Right? But I see no reason why, on the basis of what you have described, she should be locked away in Glenhope at a time when she's due to sit an examination that is likely to have a considerable influence upon her own prospects. Right? Why deprive her of that opportunity?
Mr. Perkins, at her age.
I beg your pardon?
At her age, I think she's aged enough to think, to know how she is to behave in a public place. And Mr. Perkins, if the police had not come, maybe that little boy would be at Madden. Because she told the little boy, when we as adults, so many of us around her, trying to speak to her, and she said, "Boy, me will stab you here, you what not." So, Mr. Perkins, for me personally, I think if it was my child, I would find the officer, speak to that officer and said, "Officer," and even try to find some of the adults that were present there. At no given time we tried to be damaged to this child. But this child, she had behaved out of context. And when people even say to her that if your father knows about how you are behaving out here, she said, "My father can't do me nothing. Because me do what me feel for do. And my sister different from me. The two we no born one time. My sister different from me. And if the boy keep bother me will push knife in at him, what not?"
You're sure that all of this is true, Mom?
Mr. Perkins, I stood there and I heard the child. I stood there and I heard the child. It's not a hearsay thing. I witnessed everything that was happening, Mr. Perkins. And repeatedly I am saying, when a little girl like that is going to look on a police officer and is going to go all the distance, "Dirty boy, jankro boy, left me alone."
Well, police officers, policemen, sometimes talk like that to other persons, you know.
I I am in agreement with you, Mr. Perkins, but this one did not act out of the training. I am in agreement with you, but this one, on this particular day, I commend him for the way how he had exercised his training that he had gotten.
Yes.
Serve in the Jamaica country.
He was the only policeman there?
The one that I'm talking that the girl called the John Crow was the one that took the child in. Mr. Perkins, I think the parents should know where the child is, yes? I think the parents should know where the child is. Yes, that is a fact.
Yes.
But if it was my child, what I would do, I would find persons that were present there and see to it that the police had not committed no offense when he had done what he had done to the child. Because if it was another one of the vicious type policeman, he would have knocked her that day.
But I'm told that she claims that he did hit her.
It's not true, Mr. Perkins. It's not true, Mr. Perkins.
You sure?
It's not true, Mr. Perkins. That officer did not hit that child.
Could he have done it at the police station?
I did not know what took place at the police station.
Oh, I see.
But if she says he hit her when he came to apprehend her, it's not true.
I see.
He did not at no given time even speak to her in a tempered mood. He was just trying to be nice to her. And she looked at the officer. That was what appalling to all of us adults.
Now, do you think that all of that justifies depriving her of the opportunity of sitting the exam that she's about to sit? I'm not
saying that.
You're not saying that?
I'm not saying that. But I think she needs to be disciplined, and I think she needs counseling too. Because no child at her age is to be behaving like that. And her parents need to look on the other side of the book and said, listen to me, my child needs some assistance. My child needs help. And it is for the parents to find the school, find the police.
Are you prepared to talk with the parents about it?
Pardon me?
Are you prepared to talk with the parents about it?
I would if I have a number for them, Mr. Perkins.
If what?
If I have a number for the parents. I am willing to sit with them and talk with them about this.
Well, would you be prepared to give us your number, your name and number,
yes,
off
Mr.
air?
Perkins, I will. I am willing to do so. Because this child needs assistance.
I see what you mean.
And I'm not at no given time in agreement with whether the parents, the school, or anybody at all to really condemn this officer.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you off air to give your name and a telephone number where you can be reached. All right? Okay. Okay, that brings us now to the break. We'll be back here in a few minutes. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. This is Dr. Nesbeth.
Dr. Nesbeth.
I'm calling in reference. I was just listening to your program. And I heard the caller before this young lady was commenting on the little girl. The distressed tone in his voice where he thinks all of us learned doctors are written off and we're hopeless. So I agree with him in the sense where sometimes when you're in the office and you only write prescription and you tend to be in a little fishbowl, you tend
I'm not hearing you very well.
Sometimes when you're in the office, can you hear me better?
Yes, I'm hearing you better.
And you tend to write prescriptions and see patients. And you don't really deal with the realities of life or the common people every day. You tend to be a little myopic in your view.
Yes.
And you know, paranoia and all fear.
I take it that happens not only to doctors.
Well, I'm speaking of what I know. Now, what happens is, in our paranoia, because we're the crime capital of the world, we tend to think that the end justify the means. So I don't want him to think that I do agree with her. Cocaine does destroy you, and drugs is an awful thing. And I can empathize with what she's saying. She treats the patients every day, and she sees the young lives being destroyed because of cocaine. But that destruction doesn't necessarily mean that you impose and remove a person's right to justice
that is
because of your fear
true.
of the selling of the drug.
Yes.
No. Extradition is all good and wonderful if you have evidence to prove that a crime was committed in America.
Yes.
But so far, for this government, and the state must be able to protect its citizens, if you cannot show me proof or any form of evidence where you have them on camera, remember America has access to all these satellites. If these two men are such big drug pin, they should have evidence that these things were done or some kind of proof. Or is it that our government is so belied of any intelligence that they don't really need proof?
Well, the fact that what is being alleged is that the offenses, though directed at the United States, were committed in Jamaica.
Then, Mr. Perkins,
right?
How many lawyers we have? We graduate quite a few hundreds per year, don't you think?
Yes.
And we have a justice system, and we claim we don't want autonomy, right? Are you trying to tell me we can't find them and judge them innocent or guilty based on the evidence?
I am sure that we could know. Right?
Well, I call you for two reasons. Just to let him know that not all of us are so paranoid.
Yes.
And think that because crime is at its optimum right now, that to scrape every little black boy off the side of the road and lock him up and say that would solve crime.
Yes.
That justify it. No, due process must be served.
Well, yes, and I think that one of the things that we should pay attention to is the fact that the answer to the question, how did that boy get on the side of the road in the first place? Right.
You know, going into socio-political reasons, Mr. Perkins, I don't want to get into extracurricular. I can't call you for 2 points because I know other people want to. And you also know that I am a Jamaica Labour Party representative, so don't take me down that road, all right?
Oh, you are... Oh, Dr. Nesmith.
Right. I am only concentrating on the fact that, one, I am a doctor and I understand where that doctor was coming from. But to just get up and because I heard something without any proof, sometimes I have to tell my patients that gossip only serves a purpose if you allow it to. And we're third world not because of geography, Mr. Perkins, but because of mentality.
Yes.
We think small, so we behave small, and hence we are treated like minions.
Say that again for me, please.
We think small, so we are treated small, and hence we behave like minions.
Yes.
And the truth of the matter is, you have a lot of learned people out here, but sometimes they're not as brave as they ought to be.
Yes.
Okay? And as the Italians would say, they don't pressure to let them understand that what you always keep saying, you will shoot the man in Tivoli. And sometimes it takes that amount of pressure to let them understand that what you always keep saying, you will shoot the man in Tivoli or Arnett Garden, it doesn't affect you now, but eventually it is going to come uptown and affect all of us.
Absolutely.
Okay? And now we're the crime capital of the world. And we sit here and we're wondering if we extradite 2 drug pin, it's going to solve crime in the world. Isn't Escobar in prison?
Yes, I believe so.
And cocaine is still selling rampantly, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. We're going to read you some email now.
Yes, Mr. Perkins. Hi, Mr. P. Says Ismail. I've heard Ilana Franklin on more than one occasion in recent times stating that the hotels, especially on the North Coast, were having a bumper season because of the cricket business. Mr. P, isn't this time of the year when we usually have a higher occupancy?
That's my
and in any event, I have been through the North Coast last week, and I can tell you, not one hotel was more than, at best, 75% full, and at that rate, discounted. Now, about the 2 men that were rushed off to the United States as U.S. kingpins. Mr. P, to the U.S. as kingpins.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. P, I am asking you to repeat what you said today about those men's rights and to read Mr. Phipps's letter again. And I wish to ask Jamaica this question because according to that doctor lady, whom I know very well, on whose side was Dido? Was it the JLP?
How does that come into it?
I don't know. I don't know who is Dido.
Yes.
Mr. Perkins, please read the article below, as this is the publicity we are getting from the World Cup. Quite depressing. Mr. Perkins, here's an article released by the Associated Press. Sunday, March 18th, 11:10 a.m. Runs and wickets are piling up at a resplendent Sabina Park, basking in its $20 million World Cup facelift. But at nearby St. Catherine, the only score the locals are keeping is the body count. Newspapers here are dominated by stories of gang and gun crime in Jamaica, which has the 7th highest murder rate in the world. Most depressing of all is the number of children caught up in the crossfire. Last week, a brother and a sister aged 6 and 15 were gunned down in what was described as an execution-style killing. It is a shame that such a callous disregard for the lives of children is being displayed in the midst of the hosting of Cricket World Cup. Is being displayed in the midst of the hosting of the Cricket World Cup, said Jamaican Labour Party politician Derek Smith. Eric Scott, the principal of the children's school, said, "This is just a senseless killing. There are no safe zones anywhere and no one can escape the wrath of the modern criminals." At the same day in Spanish Town, 2 children were orphaned when their pregnant mother and partner were gunned down. The mother's 3-year-old boy witnessed the attack. It is against this background that the International Cricket Council chief Malcolm Speed arrived to lend his support to the organization's promotion of a UNICEF campaign to raise awareness of children living with AIDS, another social problem. And it goes on.
No, man, read it. Read it.
The area's depressing environment was brought into sharp focus for Speed when he was told by local students that crime and promiscuity were closely linked. You find that a lot of young men and women have sex with men because they need money to go to school or to buy the things that they need.
Oh, God.
One young person told him. There are also huge financial implications to the spiraling crime rate. Just last week, the Canadian High Commissioner to Jamaica, Dennis Kingsley, said the murder rate will always deter foreign investment. What should I tell someone who might be a potential business interest when they ask about the crime situation? He told businessmen. Kingsley said that the population of Canada was 32.7 million, with Toronto having about 2.5 million people, almost the same as Jamaica's entire population. However, he claimed there were 658 murders recorded in Canada in 2005 and about 54 killings in Toronto, as opposed to 1,674 murders in Jamaica for the same period.
And that's from the Associated
Press.
Is it finished?
Yes.
Boy. Man. Boy, I tell you something, this is devastating. And that is the publicity that we're getting from
that and the one from the Irish radio station yesterday.
Yes,
Mr. Perkins, I have written to Mr. Shaw of the NWA about the drainage on Dunrobin Avenue before. He has promised that it would have been fixed by now. I first contacted him early last year. The drainage on Dunrobin Avenue is wholly inadequate for the huge volumes of water which converge near the intersection, near the Dunrobin Primary School when it rains. This has persisted for a long time, and we have registered numerous claims to the National Works Agency and received only promises to fix. But this is causing serious damages to adjacent properties, including our 50 units of townhouses at 43 Dunrobin Avenue. This matter needs the immediate attention of the NWA before the next rainy season comes. And it is from the Dunrobin Phase 2 Citizens Association. Hello, Mr. Perkins. I was listening to that statement being read. The Jamaican people seem to think that we are independent. Well, look around. The evidence is to the contrary. May I suggest that the US and the UK dictates what we do here? Ever since Jamaica was evolved, they were there and they are still here. There is still no independence. Look at the dominant currency in Jamaica. It is such a crime that when the leadership is taking the blood of the Jamaican people and spilling it for no useful purpose. Mr. Perkins, I would very much like to come home, but the security of my country makes me fear. If only Marcus Garvey and Paul Bogle could see what they have given their lives in vain for. Up to date, anyway.
Yes, well.
Good morning, Mr. Perkins. A quick note. I have been unable to get the stream of your program since last Friday. I called the station and Mr. Newton James, the manager of the station, I spoke to him why I was having this problem, and he said it's a problem. Is the problem deliberate or is it purely a technical issue? Munchie, do you know the ignorance that is peculiar to us Jamaicans, that kind of bubbles to the surface when you least expect it and serves the dual purpose of deflecting from the issue at hand and tries to disparage a person asking the question? I got the sense.
No, I tell you
that this man.
All right. Stop there. I tell you, this probably has to do with the load on the. I gather that people have to get on very early in order to have a hope of getting the program. We probably need more streams.
Mr. Perkins, I'm writing to you from Norway. That spin doctor from the PNP was trying to make people believe that living in apartment and doors with steel grills is quite the norm for people all over who fear for their safety. Mr. Perkins, I don't use them here. Mr. Perkins, what is the situation with the new ambulances which arrived and all the roads which were repaired for Cricket World Cup? I wonder if when we do a check on it, we'll find that like the fire engines, they're all defective. How long will they last, Mr. Perkins? And Mr. Perkins, I think if the Jamaican people don't realize that they are heading like Zimbabwe, Mr. Mugabe, one rule. Watch and see. Please read to the people of Jamaica. Better will come only if they want better.
Not only if they want better, but if they are prepared to take what action is necessary in order to get better. Okay, that's it. Okay, thank you very much. Very depressing release that from the Associated Press. But then, what did we expect? What did we expect? I spoke about that this morning. Let's see if we can get in another call. Hello? 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 No, they seem all to have deserted us.
Good.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You asked us to call you.
Eh?
You asked us to call you today.
Who was that?
You called us yesterday. Don't call any names now.
Uh-huh.
So we're just calling to say hi.
Oh, it's so lovely hearing from you.
Yes. Do you want to hear from the other girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I am all right.
Oh, boy.
All is well.
What a wonderful reputation I'm getting with all these girls.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely hearing from you.
Okay, then. Good. Yes, bye-bye.
Okay, well, that just about what a note on which to end today's program. Okay. We'll be back, we hope, tomorrow, usual time, usual place, and we look forward to your company. So long.